we're live and we have no idea what we're doing. But we're live. But now something is going to come roaring out of my speakers in about 5, 10. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. It actually shut the sound off. Cool. We're good. We're live. Saturday night at the Atheist. Technical difficulties with sound. Not sure what we can do. How bad is that echo when I play the sound?
Well, you're not playing any sound right now, so I'd have no idea.
Even mammal evolution.
I mean, let's
it's an echo.
Is it bad?
Foreskin.
Foreskin.
Please.
Yeah. Okay, let me go. Well, have you been listening to Smokey?
No.
Oh my God.
With regard to what?
Well, I had him. He's got a live stream on, and I had him on while I was taking a nap. And I woke up and looked at the chat on my TV. I was like sleeping while watching TV, or I call it an atheist nap, where I listen to YouTube chat. Anyway, I look at the screen and it says "Speed of Pudding" went by, and I have no idea what that was about. So then I doze back off, and about 15 minutes later, I wake up and they're talking about me, and I forget what they said. Cancerous, immoral trash clown or something.
Well, there's like 4 words that they use. So
yeah,
just choose
cancerous, trash.
Did he accuse you of indoctrinating me into calling Maddox an AZI?
Calling him what?
Calling him an AZI?
Oh, an AZI. Oh, is that how you say it? So YouTube doesn't block you?
An AZI, yes.
An AZI.
An AZI?
An AZI. Oh, don't even try, Walker. Don't go there. Anyway, so Smokey is weird, just the weirdest shit. I really don't understand it. So Quentin popped up and I don't know, Smokey said something about being an atheist, and Quentin popped up and said something about, well, I might be a believer, I might be changing. And Smokey just jumped all over this kid's shit, right? Mm-hmm. And so then David Neff comes into the room for 5 minutes and says hi. And Smokey, was just gushing all over David Neff. Who was also an atheist.
Grooming.
He likes it when he thinks he's found a new pet atheist.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's just, and then he's going after this P. Mars and this Tog over Gnosticism. What the fuck is Gnosticism exactly? I used to know.
Gnosticism, it's a sect of Christianity, like an early sect.
Yeah. It's a fairly extinct sect, but it's one that states that they knew God existed absolutely.
They knew what?
So, I mean, that's where Gnostic versus agnostic is. Isn't
that how it was coined?
Maybe. I actually don't know what the difference is between Gnosticism versus
well, don't they know God through the spirit or something like that?
They have this whole weird thing, the devil's the good guy and the God of the Bible is the demiurge, because knowledge is actually good for humans. It's this all.
Is that the Book of Judas or something? I know that there's a bunch of different Gnostic texts that weren't really included in the Bible. There's the Book of Judas, Book of Thomas, all those other ones.
Yeah, they emphasize spiritual knowledge over Orthodox teachings, traditions, or authority. So pretty much what I thought. They're kind of like spiritual Christians, sort of.
Well, if it goes to say anything, I'm kind of a spiritual atheist, although I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but Smokey is calling him Satan and demonic. He's demonically influenced, and he's been doing this to a number of people, and he got into a thing with praise. I get a feeling Smokey's going to drive a little wedge here and there.
In the brain trust?
Yeah, the whole brain trust. And I mean, they've been off the evolution subject, and they've been on these weird biblical fights that they're having over interpretation of these arcane spiritual passages in the Bible, which I can give a fuck less about. It's just, so, I don't know. They bore the fuck out of me when they started talking about, hermeneutics and Yeah.
Like
I just
making
don't
up.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
I don't care what the book claims to say it says, but I do care if God. Well, it would be interesting if God does exist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty Gnostic towards the Christian God, but I'm open to a God, I guess.
Well, I can give you a Bitcoin address and send me some Bitcoins, and I'll send you proof.
We'll find you one.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
give me.
Computer, and if it gives back the number 42, then you'll know.
Something like that. Yeah, or some number, more or less than something.
I don't know.
Some
I think
number minus infinity, but less than infinity.
I like my God of complexity and complex information.
Mm.
We're going to fight about that tomorrow, Immutable?
Apparently, we are.
Information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think information.
we started that conversation earlier today as well.
Yeah.
We did?
You could stop over and we could fight with you too. Tomorrow?
3-way boxing match. Maybe so.
Yeah.
We'll see what
Yeah.
Standing says. Yeah.
So, does Walter also think information is physical? Or I'm guessing not, since he.
So, I think information has its basis in physicality, but like information also requires interpretation, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't even go there. I would say information, like as a complete notion, is abstract.
No, so I would actually disagree with that. So interesting. We have the full spectrum.
Awesome. Okay, we'll fight it out tomorrow because we start fighting tonight. It ain't going to end well.
Yeah.
We're going to end up on Speed's smoke list.
You'll be on my smoke list, right?
There we go.
And I'll start talking about myself in the third person. Speed of sound is going to come down on you.
Speed's going to come after you.
You cancerous, toxic.
What's the
Trash
smoke list?
clowns? Oh, you could be my trash clown, Walker.
Oh, there we go.
Well, I'm honored.
Smokey calls it is people who he apparently doesn't like want to interact with because he views them as like the scum of the earth.
Well, the weird thing is he still interacts with them. Yeah, the smoke list is kind of like Smokey's hate list. So I know who all's on it. It's definitely Speed, Shadow Dancer,
Mutable's on.
Immutable, T-Jump,
I'm on it?
Raging Atheist.
Wait, when did I go on the smoke list? We talked like this week.
I think you're on the smoke list. You're one of
I
my
don't think so. He defended me this week.
Really?
When? What
In
context?
full battle stream, once I apologized for calling John a Nazi or saying he looked like a Nazi.
So
I don't know. If you hates me, I don't think he would have defended me, but maybe I'm incorrect about that.
I wonder if Dan is moving towards his smoke list.
After the conversation they had on Dan's channel, I would not doubt it.
Oh,
He's
Dan
moving towards it.
Dan is on the smoke list.
I don't think he's on it. I don't think Smokey actively dislikes him yet. Although I feel like if they have a conversation. Oh,
he said a thing or two.
Thank you, Ian.
So Smokey and Maddox are similar in the sense that I don't think Smokey likes other people questioning like his perceived level of intelligence.
Yeah. Or anything he decides about the Bible, or naturalism, or evolution, or pretty much anything Smokey says about anything is like you either agree with him.
Even the whole like Smokey and Rage thing is like kind of gone to shit, like in terms of their relationships. Rage still makes a valid point in the sense of like, okay, you claim some things are literal and some stuff is not, but how do you know which is which? How do you know which is like? How do you discern which things to take literally and which things not to take literally? Like, what objective standards do you have for that process?
Ian, you're a trash clown to Ian.
Yeah, I was responding to it. It deleted it in the live chat, which is sad. But it shows up on our StreamYard. What were you saying?
Has anybody ever asked Smokey if he views like the creation event to be like a literal event?
I think
don't know.
I think I asked him. I tried to pin him down, and I think he said something about leaning toward the creation side of things, but not, but yet believing in a 13 billion year old universe, but leaning toward create. I don't know how he put it. I don't think he actually thinks about it. I don't know. Not entirely.
I think he was raised like as a creationist.
Let's see now. If I'm gonna go rummage around for a while. You guys chat.
Didn't he
I was just
adopt
wondering.
Speed for a while?
What's that?
Did Smokey?
Yeah, weren't Speed? Weren't you his like pet atheist for a little bit or something?
Oh yeah, for about 2 weeks. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah. That was when I first met him. It's like a honeymoon period.
Yeah.
Like
There's also when he was first getting introduced to like Maddox and stuff.
yeah, we got a room. And we were just kind of like really getting attracted to each other, and
Yeah. A little
then,
bromance.
that just all went to hell. Just the sex ruins everything. Sex ruins everything.
Maddox came between you.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, the cojones.
Yeah, that fucking
Maddox's cojones were too big.
Yeah,
could not
cojones
fit.
were bigger than Smokey. So, and then then there was
Elephantitis. Oh, God.
this rumor that Smokey was having an affair with some toads out there in Arizona. And that just really, that was a fucking last straw.
At least it's not what it is, because then the claim about the people who read the Bible being sheep fuckers might actually be accurate.
Right. Well,
did he?
no, to be fair, a toad is an Arizona sheep, basically.
Well, there we go.
There was a theory that we started the other day. I forgot what it was. It was on some sort of like after show for a debate. It was Ron Garrett versus someone. But anyways, was it Standing? Did Standing debate Ron Garrett earlier this week? Yeah. But it was the after show on Guts and Gibbons channel. We were talking about crab lice, and we have discovered that the curse of Ham, or the shameful act that caused the curse of Ham, was just Ham clapping too many gorilla cheeks.
Was
that
he
explains the phylogenetics and the curse of Ham. What were we saying?
So was that was he clapping too many gorilla cheeks during the Ice Age?
Yeah.
Supposedly, right after Noah's flood.
Yeah. So the thing is with the lice is the human hair lice is phylogenetically most similar to the chimpanzee lice, which makes sense. But our pubic lice is most similar to gorilla lice. And the divergence between human pubic lice and gorilla hair lice was like 2 million years ago, which means that it was like well after the divergence. So obviously someone in our ancestry, probably like a Paranthropine or Homo habilis or something like that was, well, we're not descended from Paranthropines, but that's a sister lineage. Anyways, someone in like the Homo line was definitely having sex with gorillas. And so since that's not available as an explanation in the young Earth worldview, it was definitely a fully human person just going at it with a gorilla.
Yeah, I do wonder like why real biologists do study things like, oh yeah, I'm going to study like the reproductive system of a gorilla. Okay, there's like a million other things you could do. There's like a million other things you could be interested in. Why that particular?
If we didn't know the phylogenetics of crab lice, we wouldn't have this epic story about Ham getting it on.
So someone
had that type of lice that infect gorillas' private areas. If they're out there.
But are they just in the private areas of a gorilla, or is it all? Because gorillas are kind of furry. Is it everywhere?
Yeah.
They just
so that was the thing. So whenever we started losing our hair, they almost became like islands, right? Like geographic islands for a speciation event to occur.
Okay.
And that's why we have different species that infect like our pubic hair and our like head hair.
Is it because there's significantly less lice down there than?
Well, no, just because like so in chimpanzees and gorillas and orangutans, the lice just cover the entire body.
Right, right.
But
Okay.
for us, since we have substantially less hair, the lice only live in the places where we do have hair, and so that's caused like speciation events between the lice.
But maybe they weren't having sex with the gorilla. They were just like cuddling or something.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Maybe they were
can't
just like
disprove that.
Yeah.
No, like
Maybe
I still think that is a prediction that the young Earth worldview has made that has come to fruition, right? Shameful act. The timeline fits.
Typical
Seriously need
atheist.
to
Cuddling with
journal and just
gorillas.
we seriously need to publish in a creation journal and just make this an official thing.
Yeah. What was I going to say though? Oh, whenever Speedy gets back, we should watch the Gen Aldrich thing because we still haven't seen that, and it's been hyped up to me so many times that it's just them going insane.
Apparently, Smokey is made up with Jen Aldrich
Oh, really?
on
How'd that
Facebook.
happen?
Yeah,
How so? What's the story there?
I don't know because I think he's lying.
Like Facebook DMs where no one can see, or like a public Facebook?
Who knows? I mean, it's kind of odd that he wouldn't have that kind of thing like on his own channel. And since he's saying like it's on Facebook, it's kind of like okay, unless there's like in a public comment thread.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I trust that? Like
It's like the age old. Oh well, I have friends. They go to a different school.
Oh yeah, definitely. Walker has friends. That's a good one.
Yeah. Where is Speed?
I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to be. Holy shit! I'm trying to get a set of headphones working, and I can't find the volume control on the headphones.
Has anyone here? I saw Speed do it with Antangelo. Like, just sat down with like Maddox and try and read through a paper with him to see how far the divergence is from his bizarro and non-interpretation or making up of shitty.
I've been.
I don't know.
I've asked him to do that a number of times.
I would be willing to do it with someone like standing. I just don't really see too much value in talking to Maddox.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. But I'm
Yeah.
just curious, just like go through the paper, everything, start at the abstract, go through the whole thing, line by line, because I mean, I looked at a few of the things on that he has presented in some obnoxious way, for my enemies who hate me, or something more obnoxious than that, which he's good at. He's really has a skill for being obnoxious, I must say. But it's just like, dude, it's like, did he not read it, or he's picking out one word? It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it
So-
is.
Our theory currently is that, and it would be like it would make sense. A lot of times, like in Atangelo and other creationists, like SFT particularly does this. They keep in touch like with a lot of like creation sources, so like AIG or ICR, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like those institutions, because they have their own like creation science researchers that are working for them, they'll have like news outlets like that send out like essentially kind of like news pamphlets to these people in the form of emails, and there'll be like 10 to 15 papers that destroy evolution, yada 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 yada. And
Hey, I got a question.
and those will be like things that they cite typically.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Did you raise your hand?
I did. I said a number of things, and you guys didn't respond. And I got this weird. What in the hell is going on with these headphones?
Well, we can hear you now. So
There
We
I
can
see
hear you
the chat.
And I can hear you, but it's like weird. I can hear myself echoing inside my own head.
I mean, your sound is
it's not
actually
echoing
good.
for us. Yeah, you sound good.
But I'm echoing inside my own head. Of course,
Maybe that's just me going crazy.
don't you know how subjectivity works, for fuck's sake? If I'm echoing inside my own head, you're not going to hear it.
Well,
right?
I don't know if that has anything to do with the headphones.
These headphones are just fucked up. Oh man, these suck. Oh god, I got some wired headphones that I dug out of a box. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I can live with this or not. What do you think? I missed this. Oh, somebody wants to know about slapping eight cheeks.
I mean, we can go back to Ham clapping some apes, but
Oh, look at that! Look what you did to Ian Walker.
I'm sorry, Ian.
Darn it, Walker.
I was working pretty consistently on a video, and then Standing for Truth said he would talk to me sometime, so I started working on my conversation, preparing for a conversation with him, and then he didn't really ever get back to me about a time.
And you didn't realize that was his plot to keep you from doing rebuttal video.
Yeah, it's not even my next video isn't even like a rebuttal or anything. It's just talking about paranthropines because I think they're cool.
That's I've never heard of, but okay.
Paranthropines? It's a sister genus to genus Homo, right? So it's also descended from Australopithecus, but they're considered the robust Australopithecines. Pretty cool. Leo, you were sent the email, my guy.
Yep, you got an email. I didn't let you know. Can't read your email, Leo. You can't get in.
Abio paper? Not Abio paper. Is the Abiogenesis conversation still occurring? Let's see.
Possibly. Yeah, I'll look into the bait. Oh, is Leo here? I can't see him. He's covered up by Ian's beautiful face.
I was in the backstage, but then something went wrong, as it says. So I'm here now. I watched that debate up until like 2 or 3 questions into the Q&A, and RJ does what RJ does best. He just trashed Nephilim.
That doesn't surprise me.
I like how Nephilim essentially admitted that he doesn't do research, or at least hasn't done research in several years, over a decade in this subject. And RJ's just like, yeah, you just need to catch the fuck up, dude.
My favorite, I watched both of their intros, and then I got really annoyed with Nephilim. I turned it off, and then from there I was like listening in and out, and I heard him. RJ asked, like, when was the last time you read an Abio paper? Or, like, have you read any Abio papers from the last 5 years? And he was like, well, when was the last time you read a Gould paper? And he's like, Gould's been dead since 2002. And then he is like, well, when was the last time you read a Kurt Wise paper? And he's like, I have a book responding to Kurt Wise that was published last year.
And then you see him, he's sitting there sifting through all his papers.
Yeah, I can guarantee.
Like, wow.
Like, RJ has read more creationist literature than any creationist alive.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He has probably read more literature than anybody else on the planet.
Pretty close. Definitely the most diverse.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you were to walk into his house, you'd just see a stack of papers reaching up to the moon.
Well, I mean, his entire back wall is books. You can see that.
Drives. Yeah.
You can. It gives Speed to run for his life.
Is this live right here, or is this back?
We're live.
We should listen to some of this.
All right.
You want to listen to this shit?
Yeah, I do.
I can say it real fast.
I bet you can, but I'm sorry, we got to keep moving. We do have to keep moving. I'm sorry to do that to you, but Sigifredo Sarabia, we do really have a lot. It is. I still have to email the rest over to Derek.
I'm not going anywhere.
So this one, let's see, I got lost. Gabriel. This one comes in from. Okay, Matthew Steele. Thanks so much. Appreciate that, Derek. Said, Neff, what is the mechanism you use to differentiate between actual design and the mere appearance of design? Thanks for that.
The word of God.
I would say some of the features of design are complexity and function and intentionality. Interdependence is another. But function is really one of the greatest. Biological, natural chemistry doesn't produce things that have function, especially complex functions that require other things that are not in their protein, that are somewhere else.
Chemistry has never done anything right.
Come in contact with. So functionality, functions that have purpose, things that have purpose for a function, rather, are things that are astonishing evidences of intelligent design.
He just has so many empty words. He can ramble for 5 minutes and say nothing.
Remember,
my guess is you're maybe gravitating closer to the mic.
I just reinstalled Windows. Let me turn my
weapon.
The irony of that statement, Walker, is like if you ever listen to Nephilim just like on a solo stream, he will talk for like 4 hours on end.
Yeah, all by himself.
About this very topic. Like he'll start off like with geology, and then he'll move on to like.
I told you, I've known this guy from
all sorts of other shit. It's honestly like
rabbit holes. He does this all the fucking time on Pal Talk, pretty much.
Have you debated him, Leo?
And it just gets fucking frustrating. Like,
have you talked to him, Leo?
Not like on my debate. Oh yeah, I've known Nephilim for over a year, over a year actually. I've known him I've had. The first interactions I ever had personally with him were in 2015. But I was still a theist at that time, and we had a debate on Pal Talk over evolution. Because when I was a theist, I did not deny any aspect of science.
Stepping away.
Good. I mean, I don't...
Because I wasn't
So what is your concept on that? Like, do you think that there's necessarily, like, any direct conflict there?
Between what? Science and belief in God?
Well, like science and theism, I guess, specifically Christian theism.
Yes, so science. Well, specifically Christian theism, yes. Think about it. Even if you're an old Earth creationist or even a theistic evolutionist, there are either parts of the Bible or parts of science that have to be denied to make your worldview fit. So they are, by definition, incompatible. You cannot have all of Christianity and everything that science and history and archaeology and subjects like that have shown us as well, not just science, and have them match up perfectly. You can't do that with any organized religion on the planet. Now, some non-religious theistic or polytheistic, some form of theistic or deistic belief, you can, because you don't have some dogmatic canon that you have to adhere to that you would have to then deny in order to accept facets of science. But either facets of science and history and archaeology and numerous other subjects are going to have to be denied, and or facets of the tenets of that religion are going to have to be denied in order to reconcile the two. So they are
just to be fair,
incompatible.
Okay. What was someone saying? Was that from the debate?
Well, yeah, that was. That sound, yeah, that was.
Yeah, well, for me, the whole thought on that is like, it's impossible to take the entire Bible literally, whether or not you choose to accept the scientific parts or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's parts in the Bible that are directly contradictory, just based on like numbers, right? Numbers don't lie. Yeah. How many? There's some passage where it's like there's 700 angels, or there's like 1,400 angels. It says both of them in like two separate passages, like one page apart.
Not even just that. I mean, if you really want to take a better example that drives at the core,
commandments were originally the 11 commandments, right? And then they were the 30 commandments, and then they were the 8 commandments, and then they were the 9 commandments.
That's what I'm saying. So it's impossible to take the entire Bible literally. So when you're looking at the parts that make claims on science, I think it's so much easier to just say like, oh, that's metaphor or poetry or something like that. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's not inherently a misrepresentation of the Bible.
Well, a better example too, and I mean it's an example that most people forget about, is the not just like the birth of Jesus, but even after Jesus is born, like one part of the Bible, I believe it's the Gospel of Luke, says like that. Yeah, the Gospel of Luke, I think it says like, and after 2 months, like Jesus went away from the town of Bethlehem and lived in Egypt, but for some time before he went back to where he was raised. But there's another part of the Bible, I believe it's John, where it says that it wasn't 2 months; it was 2 years actually before they moved to Egypt. And it's like, well, if you can't even get a basic detail right, you know.
Yeah, they got some timeline problems, as we will illuminate when we go over Standing for Truth.
Well,
They
not
were
even just
arguing-
young Earth creationism. He was talking about just like biblical contradictions.
Oh, okay. They were arguing the other day about again about the flood and Babel, Smokey, and I think Standing. I thought somebody. I don't know. Anyway.
So
Yeah,
I have to ask you guys a question really quick, if I may, just because I haven't ever heard any of them say it directly, but I've heard the Tower of Babel. I don't know how Babel. I really don't know how that's pronounced.
Babel.
I don't give a shit.
I say Babel. Some people say Babel.
But do these people actually believe that's where the different languages originated?
Yes.
Or just
They
some?
believe
Unequivocally, yes.
So they believe
which
that, but they also believe. So they believe that, but they also believe the Tower of Babel. At least creationists believe this is responsible like for the origin of cultures.
Yeah, so I'm assuming like that's where the language families originated, right? So like Indo-European would have come after Babel, but it wouldn't have split all the way to like Latin. Does that make sense? So... Oh, yeah. Leo, you still there?
I guess. Yeah.
Hey, making sense of the
I was just-
Bible.
Well, like I'm saying
Trying
like
to process everything.
so like the Semitic languages, or not Semitic, Afroasiatic. Is that what language family is it that includes like all the Semitic languages?
It's Semitic.
It is Semitic, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have any like,
Ethiopians in there too, for whatever reason, but
yeah. Well, I mean, also like Northern African languages like Berber.
Yeah.
But like there's like something like 200 major language families, which linguists sort of just throw their hands up and they're like, if there is relation between these languages, it's not, really measurable, right? So like Korean is its own language family, Japanese is its own language family. There's multiple different. I mean, there's a ton of Chinese languages, but and there's like the Turkic family, Indo-European family, Bantu family, right? So there's like a bunch of different families, and then each one of them has usually multiple different languages inside of it. And I think they draw the line at the language families, though I might be incorrect.
Muy interesante.
Yeah. I mean, they try to take as much of the Bible literally as they can. It's interesting that they choose to take like, all of that stuff literally, but like not the four corners of the earth or the fountains of the. Well, actually, no, they do think of fountains of the deep, but I don't know. There's certain parts where I feel like they probably don't take it literally.
Jesus. Yeah,
but it's hard to
there
make
is,
generalizations
because they can't.
It's just so crazy. They just can't do it. Even them. They try.
We all try.
Yeah.
What's going on with the live debate? Is it still going or?
Oh, this thing? No, I think
No,
it froze. It froze.
It froze because you paused it.
Oh, I paused it. I'm sorry.
No, it's not on play.
It's magic.
It's paused, not frozen.
Thank you for your question. This one comes
There's no sound.
from Sigifredo
There we go.
Sarabia, who says, Neph, if you reduce biology to be, quote, machine-like or products of atoms, the product of atoms, how are you not a materialist begging a question to answer RJ without concluding, 'cause God?
I disagree with this question, but we'll see what he
atheists
answers.
like to put that argument forth all the time, but the simple truth of it is all they're trying to do is undermine the facts. And the fact is that this kind of complexity that we see in biological systems is truly mind-bending. So much so that one biologist said, one philosopher, I think, of science said that biologists have to continuously convince themselves what they're looking at for naturally instead of being designed. Because it is so mind-bendingly complex. And every chemist in this world knows that natural chemistry does not produce things that are complex.
Yeah, it does.
Chemistry
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
everyone. And yet, these people who put forth this godless idea of abiogenesis and evolution want you to believe, oh, it could just all happen. And it happens together remarkably fast because it had to, else the environment would have destroyed it. So it happened super fast, super fast, super fast.
Gotcha. We must go to the next
Define super fast.
Thank you, James.
But if you're okay with that, okay.
Yeah, go
We
ahead.
want to mention, I forgot to mention, that Dapper Dino is also having an after show. And so let us know, folks, that both Logical, Plausible, Probable, and Dapper Dino's after shows, because there are 2 of them for this debate. They're linked in the description. If you would like to host an after show for a debate, let us know. We can put that in the description like we have for those guests.
Which gives people the opportunity to watch one and then the other, but they can't do both simultaneously because it will be confusing.
That's true. You're going to have to... You could listen to bits and pieces while keeping both tabs open.
You can come hear the truth, or you can go hear stories.
Next up.
Okay, hold on.
Experiments in
The fact that Nephilim just said that is
There is
funny.
a peer-reviewed paper which describes the mechanism by which
Foreskin.
God created the book.
Someone said,
Foreskin,
Immutable said,
please.
hold on.
Yeah, the thing is, I think if you ask like Nephilim, is the biblical narrative a story? Yes, it is. Like, he considers it true, but it's still a story. I mean, the question skeptics are asking is whether or not this story is true to the world that we see around us.
Yeah.
And
I didn't mean to show that.
from a scientific standpoint, it appears that there's a lot of inconsistencies or a lot of reimagining that needs to be done if you really want to take this perspective seriously. But no, I mean, you can't just say something is true because it's true. Like, that's something that needs to be proven and demonstrated.
Who is not Tangelo? I know it's not Otangelo, but
Not Tangelo.
who is not
He
Tangelo?
is
That's me.
It could also be no Tangelo.
Note, not.
He is all things not
I'm all things to everybody.
All things not tangible.
He is all things that are not Otangelo.
I'm all things. I'm not Angelo. Or not.
And I just want to double down on this. I will let all things not Otangelo in here.
Not Otangelo.
Not Otangelo.
I have a feeling that when
What
I
about
start
Otangelo?
one of my series on my channel, he's going to be dropping in, which will be fine. I'm just going to do to him what Tom Jump did, but I'm going to do it better. I like Tom, but he just hammered him, man. And it's just like, no, this is wrong. That's wrong. This is wrong. None of the scientists agree with what you're saying. There's no scientific literature. What you're saying, dude, you're just wrong on everything.
I like what Tom did with Nephi. He's like, you're just making up shit. You're making up shit.
Making shit up.
Yeah, you're just making
Dude, his political debate with Maddox was
Last night?
I couldn't watch it.
Oh, wait.
I couldn't watch it.
No, that was earlier this week, I believe.
Dude, the one last night.
No.
I could not.
That was last week.
The one
I didn't
about the
watch
shooting?
much like it just because Maddox I can't.
I
Yeah.
can't.
The one that he
the
had,
one last
that T-Jump and Maddox had, was on Biden versus Trump, and that was like last Thursday or Friday or something like that. And then the one that Maddox had last night, I believe, because I won't say his name because there's no need for me to say his name.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
What I will
it's
say
kind
about
of
that
impressive.
story is that it is vastly more nuanced than either side is letting on. But it's the fact still remains that you had somebody who was not legally authorized to own a weapon carry it across state lines to a peaceful protest for really no. This is the big qualifying word here, for no justifiable reason. So even if there might have been instances where somebody could try to argue that he may have been justified in using his weapon, and I am not arguing that, I'm just putting it out there, it's still, the fact still remains that he should not have been there with a weapon in the first place. And the minute he showed up, the police that were there should have done something about it.
Oh, but obviously
that in and of itself is the larger problem that most people are pointing out. Regardless, I mean, the fact that he shot 3 people and killed 2 is a problem. But the fact that he was even there in the first place and that the cops didn't do anything.
Oh, hey, here's an idea of what we could do.
point.
We could go through Maddox's Twitter if you want to, Speed.
Oh my God.
That doesn't
Don't
require any
do that.
sound.
Did you not hear a word Maddox said yesterday? He said that man. Okay, those two towns on two sides of the state line are really close together, and he said that kid had loved ones and friends that he was protecting over there. Because
Protecting from what?
In any other context, you would have friends in the next town over, in the next state over, if you're less than 50 miles away from them, and you have to go there with your weapon and protect them. That was Maddox's argument.
What?
Yep. That pretty much sums it up. Maddox, the kid had
and
to...
also, I don't think he was protecting his family. He was part of that militia protest thing.
They were protecting cars.
Well,
I think
he wasn't a part of the militia, but he was around them, but he was not actively a part of them. But the thing is, he went there with a gun that he should not have had, knowing that he shouldn't have had it, because he wanted something to happen. He wanted to use that weapon.
I don't know about that.
I think that's pretty obvious.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Well, then why would he have done it?
He got caught up. I used to, like when I was a kid, and one of the we had forest fires. I would jump in my dad's truck with him and run out there with gunny sacks and fight the fire, just because I was caught up in the excitement of being with my uncles and my dad, and that's what that kid. That's what he was doing there. He was caught up. He's a little kid, for Christ's sake.
He wasn't a little kid. He was still 17.
Really a little kid.
Oh, that's a little kid to me. I'm sorry, but well, did you listen to him talk? He really wasn't. I mean, he was not. He didn't strike me as a mature adult, and he didn't seem to have any malice.
Of course, he's 17.
But I mean, he got caught up in it, and they chased him, and he had to shoot him because they were chasing him. They should not have chased him. They should have fucking backed off. They were stupid, but the main
there's a reason that he was being chased.
Well, the main
like I said, the whole situation is way more nuanced. But that kid went there with a gun that he knew he shouldn't have had, knowing that he shouldn't have had it, knowing that he shouldn't be there with it because he wanted to use it. That's why he was there.
The wanting to use part is the only thing I'd push back with. But
yeah,
what's that?
Well, the only part I'd push back on the wanting to use it type of thing.
Oh, the why? If he didn't, why didn't he just go there without a gun?
Self-protection.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. I think that's like a huge
violent protesters that might have chosen.
There were no violent protesters. There really weren't even that many people there. It was a small protest, and late at night, there was probably less than 100 people there. No need for weapons at all. There were police present, so he didn't need to bring weapons. There were actual people who were trained with the weapons. So why did he go there with a weapon that he should not have had, and that I'm sure we all would agree he knew that he shouldn't have had it? Why did he go there with that weapon?
I think that's part of the thing.
And when you look at the history, like the video that came out of him today, a female, it seems to me that he is the kind of person that would want to go on the fact that he was at a Trump rally and wanted to be a cop. He's obviously staunchly conservative. Yeah. He wanted to go there with that weapon because he wanted to use it against these evil, violent, radical leftists. Because that's the kind of mentality that Trump and all of the goons he surrounded himself with and the other Republican politicians are pushing.
I think the far right
rhetoric surrounding the protesters and calling them, saying that it's violent. If anybody is rioting or looting, then that is completely and utterly irrelevant to the protesters, because those are two completely different classifications of people engaged in two completely different things. So if anybody is talking about protesters and somebody brings up rioters or looters, you are, by the textbook definition, engaging in what?
Oh, you're cutting out.
And that is
like, what the hell is that? The Icon Theater? Is it the Icon Theater in Texas? They have a rule that you can't carry long guns. You can only carry concealed weapons into the theater.
I don't know. But like, I think the reason he had a gun is just because that's what the far right does. Like every single far right protest ever in the past 100 years is just filled with people with guns. If you look at, back in May, whenever they had like the mask protests and stuff, they were carrying around guns for some reason.
Remember the Black Panthers?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
they did it for a reason. They had a reason to carry guns.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying that,
These
like,
right-wing
the far right
nerds
just
don't.
loves to flex the fact that they have guns, but very few of them turn to them actually using the guns, right? So I'm not sure if he was planning on using the gun. I think he was just bringing the gun there to show that he had a gun. You know what I mean?
Any idiot that brings a gun to a protest.
Oh, no, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
all idiots.
And I think I would also push back on, like, calling him a kid. Once again, he's 17. I mean, he's legally a kid, but at that point, you should be able to make mature decisions.
My calling him a kid is based on the interviews that they did with him. He sounded really young. He sounded like he was 14. He didn't have the mentality of a 17-year-old.
Okay.
Of course not.
I haven't watched any videos.
Do you happen to have John's Twitters? Can you share the screen? The part where he was calling for the militia to help the police?
Yeah, that's the opposite of productive. Let me pull up Twitter.
I can. I don't know if I can find John Maddox. I don't
John
follow him.
Maddox's
I don't
Twitter
want
is a
to.
fright. It sounds like pretty scary
Maddox
stuff.
Twitter is
Here it is.
terrible. Good God, that gee whiz.
Okay, it's the Alamo Theater.
Wow,
in Texas.
I've been a hardcore NBA fan since I was 9 years old. I have been a NBA League Pass subscriber for almost 5 years straight, at least 8 in total. Today I canceled my subscription, and until you rich, spoiled, privileged idiots start acting like adults, I'm done. You hear me? I'm done. My God, Brent Terhune. I don't know if you guys watch his videos. Brent Terhune, he's funny. I'm done.
I'm
Boy.
sharing his Twitter page.
Oh,
The
yeah.
whole NBA must have shook when
Are you?
Maddox
Are you?
withdrew his subscription.
Was that from Maddox Twitter?
Yeah, we're stalking.
Logical.
Okay.
Plausible.
So
Brother Maddox
yeah.
is profile.
Okay, so here's the NBA tweet that y'all just read.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Literally, I'm done. Did you say literally?
I think we can all agree, though, the fact that they were. Oh, go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say the fact that they were having this debate about, like, what happened 3 days ago. I think that's pretty reprehensible. They shouldn't, like,
Well,
two
no,
people
so
just fucking died 2 days ago, and
Yeah,
there's
for
not
real.
nearly enough information about it to make an informed decision.
No,
Like,
so
a lot.
that's just very
interesting come out
tasteless, in my
today.
opinion.
I don't think it's the topic of the debate itself that was the issue. I think it's the fact that, like, James allowed debate, like, to be had.
Yeah.
I just think it's tasteless in general.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I can understand
no
having certain political baits, but some of them are like, it's almost like he's purposefully going for dumpster fires.
yeah.
Okay. This
Well,
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't want to run a channel that was known for that. And I
Well,
don't think that you're going to get, like, look at Capturing Christianity. You don't find that stuff on his channel. That's why he's actually pretty damn popular and has, what, 50-something thousand or close to 50,000 subscribers. James wants to be up there or go higher. He's going to have to make sure that it becomes more formal. And that means and sometimes
like,
saying that, hey, until you can change the way that you engage with people, I can't have you on my channel. I don't see that happening. I don't think James is a bad modder, and I don't think what he's doing is bad. I do think he has room for improvement, but I mean, that's just my opinion. So,
Would anybody like to read this tweet, though?
Oh yeah, read it.
No. Okay. Good.
So I think the thing that, like, almost really, like, turned people away from James and almost nuked him in terms of, like, sub count is when I think it was Standing and somebody else had a debate and Raw Matt was the moderator.
Oh, and he was, like, shirtless and wearing, like, the Egyptian headdress and stuff.
Wearing, like, this pharaoh thing, just, like, rubbing himself, like, during the freaking debate.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
when
That was a while ago.
How
It
long
was.
ago was this? Like last
A year
year?
ago.
Was it a
Okay.
full year ago?
Might have been shorter,
Well,
actually.
My face. Well, my face is not on the camera.
I don't know. Anyways, John Maddox writes, I'm no fan of Jeff Bezos, but in what universe is this acceptable, let alone legal? I had a business shut down because it drew large crowds. His business was huge. These people can.
That's what you do when you draw large crowds with a business. You shut it down.
Yeah.
I had a business that shut down because it drew large crowds. These people can prepare for executions. It's time for citizens to go clear the streets. Cops can't do it alone.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Holy crap!
You're finding out that the right wing are pretty much fascists. They're certainly authoritarians.
John, yes. He's straight up
I would
calling
argue
for militias.
All of the Trumpist right, and that's why I call them Trumpists, and I call it Trumpism because that's what it is. It is an ideological movement, just like Stalinism or Nazism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this isn't just Trump. This is conservatism as a whole.
But yeah, and that's the thing. But Trump is what really brought it out to the forefront. It really started with the Tea Party movement after it in 2010 when they took over the House and the Senate. And then that helped breed, and also the Democrats just being a neoliberal corporatist party helped breed a candidate like Donald Trump, which he's the one that really, that all that authoritarianism and that violence and vitriol and bigotry and hatred and everything else that you see flowing from the evangelical conservative right in the United States was there all along. It was buried underneath because it wasn't seen as socially acceptable to have those views. So a lot of people suppressed them.
Civil War.
But with somebody like Trump is president and the rhetoric that's come out now that he is president, they feel it's now comfortable and safe to bring those ideas up to the surface. And that's exactly what we're seeing. And that, I call it Trump. It's what it is. It's Trumpism.
Okay, the Civil War never really ended. We thought it was over, but none of those people down there really quit. So that's one of the problems. But anyway, I have a fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you buy a guillotine on Amazon? I mean, where the fuck did these guys get this?
Somebody
this is
probably made it.
This is such an absurd tweet. It borders on parody. Like, it's crazy. You know, okay, so he's like, these people are preparing for an execution.
Where did they get the fucking guillotine?
Yeah, but like
guillotine.
And
looks
also
like a
he says
one.
Yeah, it doesn't look real. I
Or
mean,
LARPing
it's
or
mostly
something?
like
I don't
plywood.
know.
But he's saying you know, this is like a large crowd. There's like 20 people maybe, and they're not that close to each other, and they're all wearing masks. Like, and they're all outside as well.
Socially distance executioners.
Yeah.
What exactly is the second line of the Maddox, the diatribe? I had a business shut down because of large crowds.
He's always talking about his fucking businesses.
He's referring to business endeavors.
Yeah,
it looks like the bar the blade is attached to is fixed.
Yeah, you can do a little research on Maddox's businesses.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that blade is metal. That could be some sort of that's definitely not like an
That
actual.
looks pretty fucking
I
serious.
think it's some kind of theater, LARPing.
Yeah,
kind
well,
of
no,
thing,
I'm
or
looking at this video up close, and that the bar that the blade is attached. I could be wrong, but it looks like it's fixed. Like this is like
Well, yeah, and there's nothing
like a
for it to
stage
drop
thing.
anyways.
Prop.
Yeah.
I think they made it.
But I think the scariest part of the tweet that we haven't talked about is time for citizens to go clear the streets.
Yeah.
Cops can't do it alone.
Yeah, that's what I responded to. I think, you know, that's all we fucking need. I mean, this whole thing started from the police killing people. So we'll
now we
end
need
it by
people killing people.
Yeah, right. Everybody.
We don't need cops killing people. We need people killing people.
Right.
Vigilantes everywhere. The only way to fix these problems in
But if
America.
that happens, okay, if that happens, we're just going to defund the people.
Oh my god.
That'll solve it.
Yeah, like I said, vigilante justice definitely the way to go. Works out great every time.
The only solution. It's always worked in the past. Don't question it.
Let me see. This one's just about.
Never has forming vigilante groups ever backfired in the history of human endeavors ever.
NYU students demand a black-only space. In what universe does it make sense to demand resegregation? Literally can't make this stuff up.
Literally? Everyone's favorite word. Literally. Everyone's favorite
Does he
word.
put hyphens in it when he writes it too?
Yeah,
No, he
really.
just put it in caps.
No.
Do
Okay.
you even
No, it wasn't even
understand
cap.
biology?
Let's see. I'm trying to find another good one.
It's
Lit.
Literally.
Literally.
Literal.
When he starts going,
really gotta bring it out.
Literally.
are you saying?
Literally.
Literally.
He has the strangest rhetoric, I must say.
Literally, in any other context, would you find it logical that a car was built by something other than a human being?
Are you saying?
What?
That's my
Yeah, when he says stuff like that, he almost reminds me of fucking Ben Shapiro.
okay.
Literally.
The ride the deck. Okay, we're
This is a pretty funny gif, actually.
That's pretty cool.
I appreciate that, Maddox.
So former slaves, now freed citizens, paid for this horrifically racist and offensive statute. What is he talking about now?
Who the fuck knows?
The fact
Exactly. Who the fuck
attack
knows?
and dethrone God is trending makes the video I just published even more appropriate.
Oh, I watched that video, Atheist Fantasyland Protection Complex.
yeah,
I'm like,
just
why do you
stupid.
have so many what?
Well, you see how he's shamelessly advertising even here, even in this.
Yeah, there's not too many like.
I feel like John is the
bad
kind
ones.
of guy that if you walked into a store and you asked him to put a mask on, he would freak out and spit in your face.
Oh my god.
It's not even. That is the kind of person that John Maddox is. Like, why are we even acting like that's not?
Why are we
Somebody's
speculating
back
on
in
points? Why are we speculating on pretty
What?
Okay, read that top post.
I'm trying to read it and figure out what it's saying.
Read it.
Watching cops around the country turning into enforcers of unlawful orders, it struck me that in the not distant future they may be my mortal enemies. Will we have to choose whether to live free or die hard? It's a sad day when this is a literal, not figurative concern.
He got
First
the
of
word
all,
in.
the irony of this statement is hilarious.
Literal.
This was written in May 6th, and I'm assuming he's talking about the pandemic, the plandemic.
Yeah.
And like the government asking people to
Mm-hmm.
wear masks when inside of a private business.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No, I think he's actually talking about like the recent police brutality.
Yeah, definitely. Oh no!
See,
Like, wait, were you being
there's
serious
so
or were you?
much.
Maybe. I mean, we was talking about like the cops and stuff.
Well, okay, so I'm
I
assuming when he
doubt
says
that's what he's
unlawful
talking
orders, he's talking about them wearing masks.
Yeah.
And
the
yeah.
pandemic.
Definitely not referring to the
Yeah.
killing of black people by the police because John doesn't.
I find the irony of this statement quite funny.
Yes, that's the thing about being a conservative. That's the thing about American conservatism, is it the amount of hypocrisy you have to engage in to be one. If we could harness that as an energy source, it would probably almost directly rival the sun in power.
Please read
it's that fucking extreme. It's literally that extreme.
Literally. It is literally a machine, not analogous.
If I ever get a debate with him, I'm just gonna use literally every.
Oh, here's him doing anti-mask shit. People of #Nashville, we cannot allow the destruction of our great city to continue. The mayor does not have constitutional authority to control our lives, nor determine if we are allowed to work.
To work.
We must refuse to comply. What are they going to do? Arrest us? You know, if we scroll up like 2 inches, he's just like ranting on the people who are protesting. And now he's saying we need to protest. The irony of this guy. He has zero self-awareness. What was I going to say? Yeah, we must refuse to comply. What are you going to do? If your workplace is shut down, are you gonna like go there anyways and be like, I demand to work right now? what can you even do there? And if you're an employer, what are you gonna do? Like say, oh no, you have to come back even though the government says you're not allowed to. Like, John, that's just stupid. You know, even like the refuse to comply part, you know, whether or not you have your own opinions of we should be working or not, that's different. But like saying we must refuse to comply, like how? Yeah. So I'm assuming if we scroll down from like here to February, it's just him ranting about how stupid the government's response is to COVID-19 or something.
He goes on like all sorts of like weird tirades.
Yeah, I just find it strange. Like, okay, let's see. There's a line like right here where he flips from talking about masks. Oh wait, where is it? Okay, yeah. So there's a line like right here where he goes from talking about masks to like talking about BLM and all that stuff. And it's just like a complete flip on any of his logic.
I told you the hypocrisy. It's standard operating procedure in American conservatism. It just is.
Yeah, not Tangelo had to go to sleep.
Yeah, I gotta.
Oh, okay, he's still here.
Yeah, good night.
Oh, peace out.
Good night, dude.
Later.
Peace out, bud.
Peace out.
Peace out, man. See you around.
Oh, you going? Okay.
Gone.
All right. Any more plans, Speed?
I got a plan.
Sure.
You got a plan?
Well, kind of a plan. I don't know. I just wanted to. There's some stuff I covered in my weather report that I thought was worth replaying. But
okay.
And it's kind of along the same lines as that Twitter bullshit. I sure wish I wasn't echoey in my head.
Is that why you haven't been talking as much?
Probably, yeah. It's like kind of like I did some shrooms or something. It's pretty weird. Kind of fucked up. Telling Smokey.
Have you ever done shrooms before, though?
Oh, yeah.
Feels pretty weird. It feels pretty great.
Don't get me
started.
started.
So you wait, whoa, hold up. You've done shrooms Immutable?
No, I've had friends and pretty much experienced it vicariously.
Vicariously, that's
why don't you just, actually experience them?
This channel only condones precarious that kind of
probable Aftershow NephilimFree versus Downard.
Use of drugs.
Is there a debate still live?
We should stream the fuck out of that right now and just bomb them.
Quite do that yet.
We should all go join their live stream, their open mic after show.
We should.
I'm down.
We can take it over.
I really am down. No, see, LPP would just mute us all.
Yeah,
he would.
Or he'd only accept us in one at a time, probably.
Smokey blocked me on chat, so I couldn't chat. While I was sleeping, I heard them saying my name and talking about me. They woke me up, so I went over there and said, "Did someone summon me?" And the chat never showed up. So, but they can summon me like
they can't just whistle you over.
Beelzebub or whatever the fuck he is, Beelzebub or how the fuck do you say that?
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, yeah, the devil can summon me like the devil.
The fuck are you going on about, guy?
Who?
You about who the fuck is Beelzebub?
Beelzebub?
Who the fuck is
Beelzebub?
I am. You guys didn't know?
You're Beelzebub?
What?
You haven't been listening to Smokey? Smokey
so
fucking
right
yeah. Smokey doxed me. I actually am the Antichrist.
Really?
Yeah, you guys didn't know? Fuck, I thought I told you in a private chat before we got together and did these shows.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
When's the annual Hell Get Together party?
Hell Get Together party.
Mark on my calendar? Like, come on.
It's coming.
Well, when?
Halloween. What the fuck do you think?
Halloween. Oh, okay.
First.
I thought like Christmas Eve, get a baby, newborn blood, that kind of stuff.
No, Christmas Eve, we're going to be winding it up. Okay, I'm going to play this thing.
I'm all right.
There are times when beatings are necessary when controlling certain sorts of. And I think something we should bring up, Smokey, is that the fathers of the households were the main government. So it's a very different structure than we have today.
The bleeding heart, I don't think anyone should ever be beaten, has never ever once worked in any society at any time in any part of any semblance of human history. It is atheistic ideological pipe dreams.
For what?
If you are so
atheistic ideological pipe dreams, not beating people. That's what we're being accused of. We're not for beating people.
convinced
And
that
that's a
beating
bad
people is wrong,
Yeah,
why
I
don't
guess
you
so.
take your crusade to the prisons and tell the guards they're no longer allowed to
To beat
subjugate
people.
or put people into servitude?
How do you tell the guards not to beat people? How dare you do that, man?
Okay, the guards aren't supposed to be beating prisoners. Okay,
That's such a weird. So I find that hilarious because Smokey, he justifies biblical slavery by saying like, oh well, there's still slaves today, just a different type of slaves, and it's like, no, I still don't think like free prison labor should be a thing, and I don't think we should be beating prisoners into submission. What? Just because it's done by the U.S. government doesn't mean it's morally correct. What were you saying?
Him and logic don't really mix together.
oh my
They mix
god.
themselves like oil and water for my cells.
Yep. Who's here? Leo. Leo left. What the fuck, Leo? I thought you were already here.
No,
Deja.
I told you, dude. This fucking internet it's not the internet. It's the fact that the signal doesn't go very far in this fucking house. It just irritates the shit out of me.
Oh, let's see. We got another one here.
Okay, and this is a big problem with your assertion to show how incredibly fortunate the slaves were that happened to be enslaved in Israel.
God.
Is that-
No, hold on. You gotta pause this right here for a second. Just before this even goes any further. The problem here is that they are wholeheartedly conceding that there was slavery in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right there. It doesn't matter how the slaves were treated. That's
yeah, but lucky
not the point.
slave.
There was slavery, which is in and of itself wrong.
They probably had a
doesn't matter how
lottery.
they were treated.
Like you had to line up in order to be a slave. You had to win the lucky lottery number.
Owning a human being is bad. Yes. You hear that, Smokey? It doesn't matter on the context. It doesn't matter how nicely they were treated.
3 times a day.
It's like that whole thing where it's like you could beat them as long as you didn't kill them.
Yeah.
But there was like, the people who was like, oh well, there's those nice slave masters that taught their slaves how to read. They were still fucking slaves. What? Oh my god.
It just makes you wonder, like, the rationale that these guys do to make shit make sense. That's why it's called fucking apologetics. You don't need apologia for something that is fact based, and I should say evidence based, and can be empirically demonstrated and corroborated through peer review. You don't you don't need apologia for that.
Yeah.
Instant replay.
Okay, and this is a big problem with your assertion to show how incredibly fortunate the slaves were that happened to be enslaved in Israel.
I have to replay him once in a while. Okay.
Wait, what's the rest of the context there? Just so I hear out like what he's saying.
Oh, he's just defending the Bible.
Is that there was a principle set in place where the slave, even if he had the right to go free, if his master was good to him, could actually commit himself to the service of his master for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's always
and he
an
would make
option.
himself what they would call a bond slave. And they would go to the doorway of the temple, and the master would drive a nail all into the ear of the slave at the temple entrance.
Wait,
and the slave
what
would
the
commit himself.
Wait, what? Smokey, what are you talking about?
Why? Okay, wait a minute.
So yeah, isn't that a form of torture?
Wait, so apparently if the slaves really liked their masters, they would go to the temple, and then the master would drive a nail into their fucking ear.
Very fortunate. I mean, how fortunate is that?
I mean, it sounds like it was like a choice thing, but like when you're a slave, there's no consent. There's no such thing as having a choice when you're literally a slave.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is that in the fucking Bible?
I doubt it. I think this is like a Jewish custom thing. I think I would know about it if it was in the Bible, because that's fucking ridiculous.
Slaves were more or less happy back in the day. Yeah, that's kind of like
with all the nails in their ears.
You know, my dog was pretty happy. You know, and I, you know, kind of enslaved him. His job was to bark for us. So I don't know. Fuck me. Anyway, yeah, okay, Snowflake. I don't know what this one is. I can't remember what Snowflake must be good.
Well, the only thing I'd want to say on this is because, and the reason I'm kind of pushing this point is I think that you may be living in a little bit of a snowflake mindset, just to be blunt.
Towards who?
We know that you're clearly a socialist kind of Antifa promoter leftist, Julio. You've kind of
wait.
It worries.
Yeah, hold the fuck up, because all them things mean completely different things. What the fuck does?
So maybe some of this might have a hard.
I didn't hear a safe word.
Come on, Michael, use your head.
I didn't hear the safe word.
You don't think people should be beat doesn't mean you're a fucking socialist.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
come on.
good.
At least try to hide your marital, inner workings. I mean, if you're married or if you're dating somebody.
Oh my god, dude. Oh fuck.
I'm sure your wife would love to get punched in the face for just, disagreeing with you and just, wanting rights and doing shit like that.
Okay. We have no evidence that Smokey had relations with that toad.
I have a question.
Oh, well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be talking about his dating life until we have evidence.
Well, since he wants to be there.
Are we watching this video for something terribly important?
No, we're just playing clips.
Because I was going to say, I just heard George Bond say, and it might have been out of context, but I doubt it was, considering him and his worldview and things he said in the past, that apparently scientists have discovered that oxygen on the prebiotic Earth was way higher than it was today.
No.
And there was no oxygen in the atmosphere in a prebiotic Earth, if I remember correctly.
You want to switch over to John Maddox's
and the one Australian guy who's, I don't know if he's an atheist, but I would assume he is. He's there too. It's him, obviously LPP, Nephilim, and George Bond.
Yeah, there's very little oxygen. Mm-hmm. So as far as I'm aware, there's very little oxygen on the early Earth, like when it formed, like if none at all.
There's very little free oxygen.
What's that?
There's very little to no free oxygen on the atmosphere when it formed.
Yeah, and the amount of oxygen was increased by cyanobacteria whenever photosynthesis became a thing.
Oh, this is John's stream. Should I play this for a minute?
Sure.
If you want to.
Why you said JR provided things, so why didn't I reference that? I'm not sure what you meant by that, but that was the last thing.
No, it's you seem to be representing that he's giving an account for abiogenesis, like a complete account, when we don't have a complete account. We have evidence to suggest it, but it's not theory yet. It's still a hypothesis.
Okay, go on.
Right. Okay. So you said he gave no evidence for abiogenesis, and that's incorrect. He gave a lot of scientific evidence for abiogenesis. What I didn't hear, and I wondered why, is that zero evidence. Like you said, he presented zero evidence. I heard zero evidence for special creation, none whatsoever at all. Like not even an attempt to provide any evidence for special creation. So when I say that RJ won through default, it was simply because he provided some evidence for abiogenesis, and there was nothing for special creation, wasn't even mentioned. And I wondered why that was. Now, prebiotic Earth, RJ, he's actually correct. But when you say rocks millions of years ago, oxidization happened like 2-point-something billion years ago. So how would you possibly get rocks millions of years old to show that there's no oxygen in them? Because it happened way, way, way before that. And that's the thing. It's just at one point we know, and geologists say, that only plants existed. There was no oxygen-consuming organisms.
That's not true science. Wait.
What the fuck is that?
Okay. You ready for me to respond?
Quite correct.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
sure.
Okay. JR didn't provide any scientific evidence for abiogenesis. He didn't mention anything. I think it's kind of bizarre that you say he did. He didn't provide one thing. He stumbled in attempts to give an explanation for it and then skirted.
Oh, fuck. Yeah,
Nephilim.
I'm blocked over
I
here,
can't-
too.
Yeah, keep it on mute because he's just going to repeat everything that he said in the fucking debate.
Right.
He's not.
He's just going to, yeah.
Nephilim is a lot like Darth Dawkins in the sense that all he does is he just kind of runs the same arguments regardless of how you object. Straightforwardly.
That's because Nephilim has a very strict script that he goes to, and I don't think like he can learn anything else. Like that he can learn anything new.
Hey, Leo, are you watching the stream, too? On
Right now I am, yeah. I am right now.
Can you see my chat?
Yeah. Wait, your chat on your stream?
No, on John's stream.
Yeah, I can see the chat.
Where I said Stanley?
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't have me blocked. Okay.
You might have just been in like timeout earlier or something.
Usually somebody jumps on me by now, but anyway.
I see Hi Kids, Raw Math.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Raw math.
Raw math.
Yeah. That?
CRISPR is giving him hell about his math errors, his arithmetic.
Oh, thank God. Someone has to.
I know. Oh, okay. I want to hear Maddox.
CRISPR is doing God's work. What were we saying?
I want to hear Maddox talk.
Do you? Do you really?
Dear God,
I really
why?
do. I enjoy it. It's my favorite pastime. Raw math. God, Raw math is a real piece of work. If you listen to him for more than 5 minutes and fact check just like a little tiny bit,
yeah,
you realize that he is like probably kind of a little bit off his fucking rocker, or he has to be.
Dude is a fructivore. I mean,
a fructivore. I think.
Fruitarian, remember?
Fruitivatorian. Is that what it is?
Fruitarian.
Abiogenesis, is it possible with infinite possibilities inside of limited time and what the fuck did Jungle Jargon just say?
Jungle Jargon just going full jargon.
Abiogenesis is possible with infinite possibilities inside of limited time and distance. What the fuck does it?
Yes, of course.
Jungle Jargon has his own very unique way of communicating with the world and his own mind.
Yep, it's beyond me tonight. Because I'm echoing in my head yet.
The voices.
The voices.
The
Getting louder.
That more like raw meth.
Raw.
Good one, Vesta.
Anyway, he's talking.
Evidence against something is not evidence for another thing. The negation of P is not P.
I'll mute it.
It's not Q, right? You don't say, okay, well, I've proven this wrong, therefore it proves this other thing. That's classic God of the gaps. Like, absolutely, I could paint a frame in that and say God of the gaps. The prebiotic Earth, we do find rocks pre-oxidation. That's what RJ brought up. He actually had studies which show that rocks from say 2.5 billion years ago don't have oxygen in them, and plants came about before oxygen breathing organisms did. If it had been oxygen in the like plants are what produced oxygen. Plants are the things producing oxygen, right?
It's not quite. Bacteria.
And if plants came first and they created the oxygen in the atmosphere, it would have to have a carbon dioxide rich atmosphere originally for that to happen.
His point's correct, but he's not right.
What the fuck is that noise?
I don't.
Is that one of you guys?
It's somebody's phone or something.
I'm hearing bells.
I'm not hooked up to my phone, so it's not me.
I'm hearing bells. I'm hearing bells in my head now.
Maybe it's something from the stream.
Yeah, maybe it's from the stream.
Nothing. I can cite.
Yep.
Maybe it's a sign from God.
It could be.
It could be.
I mean, this would be a fine time for him to appear.
Maybe we could invite him in the StreamYard.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if he popped up on the stream? Like, or Jesus and God. They popped up on the
Jesus is
stream,
God.
and Jesus sounded exactly like Smokey Saint, and God sounded exactly like Praise That I Am. And they got into this fucking fight over biblical scripture. Wouldn't that be awesome? On my stream. Can you imagine how many
the first
views?
ever stream to actually have God on it?
Can you imagine how many views we would get?
It'd be so awesome.
It would be awesome.
You'd be so famous, dude.
Jesus.
God tells us atheism is the correct worldview. Smokey would lose his fucking mind.
Jesus comes back to life for the second time just to join the stream.
Oh, can you imagine Nephilim as a zombie? Could
Yes.
you tell? Okay, could you tell if he came back as a zombie?
No, because he'd have the same talking points and the
I think
same
he'd-
speaking behavior, like mannerism.
I don't think you could tell. That would be problematic. Okay.
Don't believe that, and you're sitting there laughing, but the joke is on you. You haven't thought about this long and deep and hard enough, apparently.
Long and deep
Give
and
yourself
hard.
some more time. So the thing is, I can sit here all night long and discuss the astonishing evidences that prove intelligent design and special creation.
No one says
That
evidence
wasn't
is
my
outside
purpose
of
in
the
the debate.
basis.
It was just to make him stumble over himself, trying to provide evidence for something, and then he can't. So, and then what was the last thing that you mentioned? I forgot what it was.
The oxygen, the
yes.
oxygen-free rocks in 2.5 billion years ago.
Yeah. So scientists will dig up a particular rock in a particular volcanic rock in a particular location on the Earth and say, these are relatively free of oxygen, or there's virtually none in it. That proves an abiogenic world. No, it doesn't. It just proves that you found some rock that had virtually no oxygen in it. But when they dig and they dig and they dig everywhere on the Earth, no matter how far they go, 6 miles
That,
down,
like, the
they
crust
find
doesn't
oxygen in
reflect the atmosphere.
Okay, so because some guy can find a rock that has very little oxygen in it, you can't claim the sum of the whole is represented by one example like that. The truth is, even NASA agrees in their science papers and on their own website that the evidence they have not found a prebiotic light world. Now, you say, well, that was, you're talking about the plants.
What is he talking about?
I don't think he knows what
that
the
was
term means.
gibberish.
But you also have to remember he's a young Earth creationist, so he's going to try to refute the idea that there's timelines past 6,000 years ago.
He's had so much time to learn geology, and he's making these kind of fucking errors.
Dude, this is what it takes. Like, Nephilim has literally only a middle school level understanding of science and mathematics. I'm
Not
not
even
saying
that.
that to be mean. No, it's about middle school level, maybe. It's
That's an
not
insult to
very
people
good.
in elementary school.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's middle schoolers. You heard it here first.
Okay, do you want to keep listening to this shit, or
Yes, I do.
you do?
It's funny.
There has not been found anywhere on this earth a set of evidences
Didn't know how
that
to
give
define
us
the
an
word
inference that there was a prebiotic earth that was void of oxygen. It's not true.
Yeah, they do. The oldest freaking
what?
The oldest layer of the crust demonstrates that.
That's my response.
Okay. All right, George, you have something you wanted to say.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was actually I had 2 points, but I think the oxygen bit's been done to death.
Yeah, it really has.
I don't think
Mark,
we're gonna agree on that.
Mark, I posed the question to RJ about the 46 abiogenesis proposals that are out there today, and they're all failures. And he didn't deny any of that. But the most recent one, the number 46, they now propose a cloud, a molecular cloud that formed that had all the DNA ingredients in it, not bit by bit RNA getting bit by bit to become DNA, but DNA molecular cloud. And by the way, that scientific report
I doubt anybody
in a
would actually
science
propose
magazine
that.
called it a theory. They don't call it a hypothesis, they call it a theory.
No,
They might be using theory in a colloquial sense. I don't know. I haven't read that.
Well, they're not being very genuine then if they
Was that
if
in a
they are.
paper or a scientific, like just a scientific article, like a news sort of article?
I did say it was a scientific article.
Right. So
I think
there's
it's
problems
called
with the way that
Very
these
colloquial.
stuff can be presented in the media. You know, you hear those reports of like, oh, a study comes up with, you know, a certain chemical is introduced to drinking coffee, and then suddenly in the news the next day it's like, oh, you know, coffee can cure cancer kind of thing. You know, there's definitely problems in the way stuff is expressed from a study to, you know, consuming it, ordinary people consuming it. Granted, yeah. So this.
Okay, so what the fuck is he talking about? It looks like there aren't any good matches for your search. So what did he say?
Something about a molecular cloud had all of the particles for DNA, fully formed DNA, something like that. It didn't make much sense to me. Maybe I'll caught more of an argument out of it. I seriously doubt anybody is proposing like DNA world hypothesis, because once again, DNA is very unstable. Probably couldn't exist outside of a lipid like membrane.
Okay, it's a scientific paper, but I can't find anything.
Well, probably
Just
very
sort of
unstable.
primordial
Substantially
soup
more
kind of
unstable
thing.
than
Pretty
RNA.
much already
What?
been established. Has established that RNA was around as a replicator before DNA.
That I don't know if it's established, but that's the hypothesis, right?
Okay.
That's one of them, yeah. Okay.
Well, just that like RNA preceded DNA. I think that's just like likely true.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we got to find this
over time.
Well, that's just variations, Mark. That's
Yeah,
just variation.
yeah.
That's just a fancy word for variations.
Well, that's what the definition of evolution is. If you're talking about the model that we use to describe
I will be right
how
back just for a quick
organisms
second.
change and adapt to their environment, then that's the theory of evolution.
The changes to allele frequency don't support evolution. They just produce, as our friends here said,
that's
they
the
help organisms
definition of
perhaps
evolution.
produce
How does the
varieties of
definition
themselves.
not support?
They're not a mechanism for the
Foreskin.
development of
Foreskin.
structural designs.
Okay, how does the definition of a like topic not support the topic? What?
Because
The change of allele frequency over time does not support evolution. That is evolution.
Okay.
That yes, precisely. It's just what does Nephilim think evolution is?
I have no idea. Well, probably I do have an idea. He thinks it's like one kind becoming another kind. That would be my best guess.
I'm still hung up on this biological cloud. Number 46. I didn't realize we were numbering our hypotheses. And
Oh, is that David Neff in the Aftershow?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
He is the pet atheist of the month.
Yeah. I've seen this Australian dude in a lot of streams. He seems pretty smart.
You have to explain.
What?
Oh, I said I've seen this Australian dude in a lot of the streams. He seems pretty smart. Although he is completely wrong about plants versus cyanobacteria. But that's
in thousands of millions of increments.
Oh, you weren't done.
No, I'm done now.
Fewer increments than we used to believe. Well, okay, you can have your genetic punctuated equilibrium all you like. That doesn't help. It doesn't produce the kinds of change that we could call evolutionary. So changing allele frequencies in a population is not a mechanism for evolution.
Okay, so frequency is not
Okay.
just.
Hang on. We'll come back to this.
That was so absurd.
It's
and just
it's
stupid.
David's turn. David, thanks for joining the stream. What did you think about the debate, and what were the aspects of the madness on MDD that stuck out to you tonight?
Well, obviously, I don't have an honest opinion because I did not watch. So NephilimFree, would you be willing to answer just a couple questions that I have about your model? Because I don't.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind answering questions about the model.
All right, sure. So, first, and just to clarify, you believe that Noah took kinds in the ark, but not necessarily each individual species. Is that correct?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. So the second question: would you agree with Standing for Truth and Dr. Snelling that there is evidence for the hyper accelerated nuclear decay?
Yes, genetic decay, genomic decay is established biological fact in 2010.
I'm actually talking about the accelerated nuclear decay of unstable atoms, so radiometric decay. Would you agree with Dr. Stelling?
I would agree that matter moves towards entropy, and more towards disorder experiences entropy. Yes.
Okay, sure. So, radiometric dating, when we take a rock and it's quote unquote dated to 500 million years old or something like that, would you agree that it at least has the current age of that?
No, I would agree that the process of decay happens at a rate, and we can discern that rate with relative accuracy. I agree. But the problems for you is this, what you need to consider is this. Because the rate of decay is X, does not mean that what you find is X old. You don't know when that material came into being. It may have a rate of decay of X million years to get the daughter isotope. That doesn't mean that the material has been around that long. God could have created this world 6,200 years ago with materials that decay at that rate. And there's all kinds of problems with radiometric dating. Water washes minerals into and out of rocks all the time. And then there's the problem of, fudge factors. They fudge the system to get the numbers that they want. That's widely known. Even secular camp scientists have admitted they do this. And then it's a metric. It produces a range of dates. They pick the one that fits their presumed age of the index fossil or whatever it is that they're dating, rock that they want to date, and they discard the rest. And so the biggest problem really to me is that water washes radioisotopes into and out of rocks. That means unless you know exactly every single gallon of water that's ever struck that rock, you can't know how much parent isotope was present in the beginning, how much daughter isotope was present in the beginning, how much of you can't know whether 90% of the isotope of the parent isotope was present or 90% was added later by water.
You guys
Does he not understand how radiometric dating works?
No, he clearly does not.
No, he doesn't. Did you not? I said earlier, we're talking about a guy who does not know what an isotope is. He doesn't know what stoichiometry is. He knows nothing of chemistry.
Yeah, but it's just like he just said we don't know the concentration of a daughter isotope. It's 0. Like at the beginning of the process.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be time for the freaking decay chain to begin into the daughter isotope.
So that's not entirely true. There are some there are some radioactive decay chains that I forget what it's called. God, I'm getting kind of tired. That there are daughter isotopes present on Earth. What?
But they immediately produce daughter isotopes?
Oh no, they don't immediately. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm just saying, they're
when you do radiometric dating and you take the ratio of parent to daughter isotopes.
Yeah, well, the argument is so the analogy they always use is when you see a faucet dripping at a constant rate, how do you know how much water was in that faucet or in the that bucket to begin with or whatever, right? And they're saying how do you know the concentration of the daughter isotope before the radiometric decay chain started? Or not radiometric decay chain, but radioactive decay chain started. But like I said, somebody needs to make a really good video about isochron dating. I don't know how it works, but I do know that it ends up not mattering how much daughter isotope was originally there.
It only matters on the proportion of daughter to parent isotope, typically.
We need to find somebody who works at one of the labs.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one video on YouTube of a guy that actually does this stuff. He has a 20-minute video on it.
Mm-hmm.
But we need a guy that actually does it to talk to these people.
I know some people who understand radiometric dating pretty well. If you would like me to
oh yes, that would be good.
Because
call in a favor.
Yeah.
Yep. So who's Tyroga?
I don't know. I'm gonna drop out. This is getting. I'm not gonna listen to Neph.
Yeah, I can't listen to Neph anymore. John's not talking, so.
Well, I want to hear everybody else. Neff is talking. P. Neff is talking. David P. Neff is talking right now. I think. Well, he was.
Oh.
No. He's that. That's something you got to watch at high speed, I think.
Yeah. I
don't know. Okay. What else we got going on here? I really like that techno site I found.
What? What do you mean?
It's basically the Christian Craken thing I sent.
Christian Craken.
What?
Yeah, it's music, techno music. I linked it in our messages today.
Oh,
but nobody apparently.
I don't know if I saw it.
I've been at work all day.
Oh,
you knew this.
I knew that. I did know that. Okay. Where the hell? Free not. Oh, okay. Yeah, here's the thing about and John Maddox just threw this shit out there and he just kind of got away with it. So I just want to, well, maybe not that. Nah, not going to do that.
You've teased us with it sufficiently.
Did you guys want to watch the Jimmy Snow thing?
Yeah, I just want to see what was said because y'all have talked about it so many times.
Yeah, it was all Smokey mostly. So
which Jimmy Snow thing? Because there's like several that come to mind.
The Dear Mr. Atheist. Otangelo. Okay, so what? Some background.
Oh, the
apparently,
one where Otangelo called in.
Yeah, and apparently they did like a response to it or something.
They did,
and Smokey was being sexist during it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them made the comment and they posted up on the screen, Jen is only there for 2 large reasons or something like that. I'm just
and then something about she should have something in her mouth or some fucking thing. I don't know what the fuck, but
oh my god.
Smokey
There's
was,
a reason why I refer to them as the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So I
Do you hear that?
I can
hear it.
Yeah.
I'm going to warn your audience. I am not the big philosophical, theological person, so I'm probably going to be learning a lot more tonight than
no kidding.
arguing.
And I'm sick, so I'm going to be going to the bathroom and leaving the
Who
show.
wants to guess the gamer girl doesn't know much about philosophy yet is on a show to discuss it? Ain't that interesting? I wonder why she's there, guys. What do you think?
Go to you like 900 times.
Where the hell did he start? Okay, he started out right here.
Here now?
Yep.
On the line. Haven't met.
Now. I mean,
I think perhaps the audio was not changed out. Let's find out. Let's find out what happened. We're just going to redo it.
Okay, first note. Sorry, I have to say this. First note. Just to start off with this, it's very deceiving. It's very deceiving to me that we're dealing. I mean, this is what is this? What is this? What is this? What's happening? What's happening? This is, we got the gamer chair. We got the low cut blouse. We got the red lipstick. What is this? What is this? The only thing missing is a trampoline in the background. What is this? E-Thought hosting E-Thought Day. What is this?
Smokey's touching that girl with his mouse.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that before.
He has no idea what he's doing.
What is this?
Yeah, she's wearing a
I'm sorry.
low-cut
I just,
blouse, so
the opening scene of all of
obviously
this,
can't make any
Soy
point.
Simp himself and the E-Thought. Like this opening image blew my mind. I'm sorry, guys.
Really, dude? Are you fucking kidding me?
What the fuck's an E-Thought?
A thought is like another word for a hoe.
Oh my god.
And E means internet.
What the fuck?
E-Thought. Yeah. So Smokey right there is pretty much calling her an internet.
Yeah.
Actually,
tonight
he's basically calling her a whore. But
God, this
Joey. Then
why do we keep jumping around?
Tonight on the line.
I don't know.
Where did Jimmy put his?
Wait,
What
did somebody ask?
Is this Speed doing all this fucking jumping around from
Or was
point
this
to
the
point in the
stream?
video, or is that Smokey on his stream?
No, it's me jumping.
Okay.
Because that was just Jimmy's opening, so it was nice. But anyway.
By the way, parents, if you let your children watch this show, you're horrible people.
Titled God, because I've run out of ideas.
that also sounds a lot like
Women having cleavage is horrible.
Joining me tonight, oh my God, so many ways to interpret. Joining me tonight is Jen Aldrich from a show where that promotes her alcoholism. What is it called again?
The Atheist Wine Down, WINE. I only drink once a week on it, so I'm not a full-blown alcoholic.
Yeah. She only drinks once a week on the show, but off the show 14, 50 times. Welcome to a special episode of The Line. This is actually Jen's intervention. That's what
this is my intervention. They're forcing clothing and non-alcoholic beverages on me, and I'm not happy.
Your drinking has affected me in the following way. This is a Sprouts receipt.
How hard do you think the simping is going to get here, gentlemen? I mean, seriously, like we're already, I think, at about a level 6.
What is simping?
Does he actually think like Jimmy Snow's gonna start like simping and shit?
He knows what a simp is.
I don't think he knows who Jimmy Snow is. If he sits there thinking like, oh, he's gonna simp for this, like, I don't know. I don't even want to like say the shit that he would say.
Okay,
I don't think that Smokey knows what
is simping.
Huh? Simping is unnecessarily putting a female on a pedestal.
Jesus fucking Christ. Is this all about fucking females? It's like, what the fuck?
Of course.
Well, and
That's what
also
happens
Jimmy
when
Snow
you're
is like
toxically masculine.
Jimmy Snow is like quite the feminist, and he's also
don't change
sexual.
it. God damn it! Just
so-
leave it in one place and let it play.
What?
I said just leave it in one place and let the video play.
Am I fucking with your OCD?
Yeah, you are.
Cool.
That's right. He's the autistic kid. Whatever.
I should have just taken it live like this. Tonight on The Line.
Oh, wait a minute.
Where did Jimmy put his spoon? The answer may surprise you.
You
Welcome,
know
everybody.
what? There are minors watching.
I don't care. That is the mistake of the parents who allowed such a thing. Welcome, everybody,
Agreed.
For the children.
to a special episode of The Line. This one
Yeah, by the way, parents, if you let your children watch this show, you're
Why are we watching this?
titled God, because I've run out of
What?
ideas.
No, you can. No, what?
I said, why are we watching this?
just
We
watch
just watched this part. Yeah.
I had to
Go
roll
like
back.
a minute and a half ahead. I told you to quit fucking jumping around. You didn't.
That's why we're rewatching it.
What the hell, Speed? We just saw this.
Yeah.
Really? I can't remember.
That also sounds a lot like me when I'm absolutely done with
Okay, I'm going to jump ahead
Joining me tonight
Jumping
on
ahead.
So many ways to interpret.
I would rather.
Promotes her
once a week on it.
the show 14, 50 times. Welcome to a special episode of The Line. This is actually Jen's intervention. That's what
Yes, this is my intervention. They're forcing clothing and non-alcoholic beverages on me, and I'm not happy.
Your drinking has affected me in the following way. This is a Sprouts receipt.
how hard do you think the simping is going to get here, gentlemen? I mean, seriously, like we're already, I think, at about a level 6. What do you think, guys? Level 5, level 6 in terms of the simp level here. I mean, it's pretty hard, isn't it?
It's rather.
Could she have potentially dressed slightly even more inappropriate for a call-in talk show?
Inappropriate What's inappropriate about how she dressed?
Could there potentially have been a more inappropriate outfit?
It's just that these
I mean,
are
I guess
little big
lingerie,
boys that
straight
don't know
lingerie
how to handle a
pull the
woman
full ethos,
like that.
right? I mean, what is happening, guys? Right?
Yeah, it's pretty epic. There's no doubt about that.
We're going to get started here pretty soon, but we have open lines, so make sure that you call
How to handle
in.
yourself
Look
while
at that
a
ticker
woman
at the
who
bottom of
dresses
the screen. Why is it running like that? It's running
like super
so slow.
So
Make sure you
I am going to warn your audience. I am not the big philosophical, theological person, so I'm probably going to be learning a lot more tonight than
No kidding.
arguing.
And
but
I'm
I'm
sick.
Oh, shit. Now I'm hearing things in my head from 5 minutes ago.
So I'm going to be going to the bathroom and leaving the show.
Who wants to guess the gamer girl doesn't know much about philosophy yet isn't a show to discuss it? Ain't that interesting? I wonder why she's there, guys. What do you think?
Go to you like 900 times.
Oh
So-
God, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about here.
We're going to be hosting a dance party.
That seems more
I like
appropriately fit
taking
for you,
over
madam.
the computer for just a moment to
damn.
let David
Fuck
for the 1
Smokey,
second of
dude.
stuff I asked. Oh no, David, you still have it. Never mind. All right, doesn't matter. I saw him move the mouse and he didn't need to. We have open line 720-619-2288. Give us a call. We do have, it looks like 2 people on hold right now. One of them, we're going to play a game, and I'm just going to put them on notice right now as we take the call.
Notice.
Because he has been banned from every show at the ACA, and he has been hung up on.
Bill says Jen is there for 2 big reasons.
Who could that be?
You know, Bill, I'm going to just have to call into question where your mind is going right now. I think, Bill, I think you may be giving in to temptation right now. And there is some, I think you may need to ask for forgiveness tonight.
Well, let's face it, guys. She's admitted she knows jack all about philosophy on a show that's primarily about philosophy. So what
Lord
the
of
hell
Smokey.
else would she be there for, right?
The show is
She's
not
not
about philosophy.
theological or philosophically
Show doesn't
inclined at
really have a
all, is
subject.
she? She's just there for the cheap eye candy.
Fair enough, Kathy. Fair enough. I
See,
agree.
now they're ones that are
By
making her out to
people on
be
this
something.
show. And
Hey, at least they know their audience, a bunch of weed-saturated, angsty little Zoomers that do nothing but pleasure themselves all day. At least they know who they're appealing to, right, guys?
That's true.
Is he projecting?
I
what
can
we're
only
going to find
assume
out
so.
is that when I'm sick, my patience
Probably.
level goes way, way down. So
He's also been blocked by me for excessive friend requesting.
let's do this.
Ooh.
Oh, Tangelo.
Hey, Tangelo, is that true?
Okay, so
Wow.
Angelo, is there anything you need to confess? Have you been
Tangelo.
stalking Jen Aldrich?
Why am I not surprised by that
To
statement?
be honest,
she
I
made?
don't even
Why am I not
remember if I contacted her anytime. No idea. No idea.
I think she's just used to saying things like that, like
Yeah.
just because of her status. Like, oh, every man just wants me. Oh, you disgusting, vile e-whore.
God.
No one in this room wants you, madam.
Wow.
I promise you.
Maybe
especially
she doesn't
Okay,
believe
so
it.
Bill
Okay, can you
Morgan's
pause
now
this,
trying to defend
please?
his statement.
Foreskin.
We need just need to
Speed,
some silence
foreskin.
just to think about the statement that
It's foreskin.
what are we for? Yeah, the video is stopped.
Yeah, the fucking video is stopped. What the fuck are you yelling? Stop
No,
yelling at me.
I was talking about that we need to stop the video to take a moment here, a moment of silence to just think about how sexist the statement that Smokey just made is. Doesn't even know who this woman is and just called her a vile, disgusting e-whore.
You know, let's take some time to think about that Smokey might have some very deep skeletons in his closet, let's say.
Mummy skeletons?
What do you mean? Like the
He has
fact that
some
he's
body
probably
hiding skeleton.
He might have some sexual tension in his life that's causing him to lash out against a very attractive woman.
Probably an incel. I would bet most of
Probably.
them are.
Maddox has a kid apparently, so that can't be quite correct.
Really?
Well, he could still be an incel. Incel doesn't mean you haven't had sex. It just means you're not getting it because no woman wants to fucking sleep with you.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yep.
It's involuntarily celibate. Yeah.
It makes me giggle too, Ian. It's okay.
What did you just say? Hold up.
Baptist Joshua, I'm a Christian.
Did
Do you want to talk about it? What's up?
Did you just say Immutable's name?
Ooh. I don't think people know.
No, Ian said
Sounded like-
foreskin. I don't know why it just makes me giggle, and I said it
you
makes
said
me giggle
Ian.
too.
Who the fuck is Ian?
Ian Chen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The whole live chat.
I thought
thing?
you were talking about Immutable, and I was like, your name's Ian? Huh.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
He's gone by his real name on one stream, so it's somewhat public.
Oh shit.
somewhat public.
SFT's in now. Wow, let me see what's going on.
Oh shit.
Of course it's fucking. Of course it's Nephilim still fucking talking.
Are you surprised at all?
No. Nope.
Good.
Not at all.
Good.
Yep, SFT is there.
Gotta remember, I've known Nephilim for like 5 years.
Well, good. Like 8, 10.
Good on you, Bill.
from Brazil, you're on notice. Let's see if you can behave.
Yeah. Has it been? Has
I always behave. Oh, always, huh? Well, let's just say that everything in the past that you think was you behaving wasn't. So behave different.
And that's funny too, because he's so like Tangelo, you're so nice when you call in. Like you're so sweet and kind and gentle
Well, it's
about
not
it.
that
And
he's
just
mean,
ask
it's that he
questions
just
and make your
repeats the
statements,
same
and they just get so
shit.
triggered because they can't
He just
answer you, they
reads
can't
from a
respond to
script.
anything,
He
and then they
doesn't
accuse you
respond.
of
That's
acting
why.
poorly when they
It's not
act like
different than
trash
being
clowns
mean.
in response because they can't defend themselves. It's so
It's a
weird
magic
that
word.
he throws that out there. But of course, Jimmy Snow can't possibly provide an example of any of your bad behavior. He's just going to throw it out there like a blanket statement ad hominem because he's a low-rent, cowardly trash can man that he is. So yeah, well played, Jimmy. Jimmy,
I
you're a
like it
moron,
when he's
too.
flinging
Seriously.
insults. I find it pretty impressive. It's an art for Smokey.
Oh wait, we're already paused on. No, you did. Okay, you paused it. Why is it that Smokey makes these sweeping generalizations about people that he's really never met based on maybe a few online interactions or maybe just only having watched them on videos, simply because they're not a part of his ideology? But see, this is what literally
You are complete
I say
grade A
literally,
idiot.
but all of them do it,
Literally.
especially him and Maddox. It's just I don't get it.
Cat did that.
So, I think partially that's because I don't know. I don't know enough about Smokey to make this kind of statement, but I'm going to make it anyway.
I think with him and Maddox, because they're the two that do it the most. Let's be honest. Nicholas does it somewhat. There's a couple others in there that'll do it, but those two do it the most. Honestly, I truly think it probably stems from an insecurity in their own worldview, in their own ideology. That's why they have to not just attack the person that has that's ideologically different from them, but also attack the ideology rather than addressing any of the points or having an open and honest and cordial dialogue with them to understand their position better. It's just attack the person and attack the worldview, and I think that stems from insecurities about themselves in their own worldview.
Yeah, he turned on me in like 1 minute. I guess it was an email where he warned me not to do a video going after Tony, and then then he warned me I was going to be on the Smokey list, and then he asked me about if Hitler was suffering in hell or something, and I said no, basically, and he just went, and since then I've been this like moral trash, and just like it's way over the top. It doesn't make any sense, and he's doing it to P. Mars and Tog now, two Christians apparently. It's just like I don't know. It's weird. It's his thing. I don't know. Anybody figures it out, let me know.
Well, I think it's partially like I think it might be like a property like of his own insecurity, to be honest with you.
Well, I think it's part of his fucking game, I think.
Who?
Like I don't know, Smokey. I don't know. He could actually be the Antichrist. That's my latest theory.
He might be.
He might be.
It's just
all right,
but
well, I mean, he's basically stirring things up in the Christian community, the Brotherhood, and he's doing a pretty good job over there for the last few days. Pretty interesting. But he's always going after somebody.
Yeah. Fuck. I can't even remember. Did you guys see? It's kind of random, but did you guys see the debate that the Rage had with Jesus is Lord?
No.
He did pretty good.
Oh no, I
Jesus is
didn't.
Lord just isn't a very good debater.
Where was it? MDD?
No. On I believe Praise I Am That I Am's channel.
Oh really? Okay. I haven't seen it. I'm getting pretty burnt out, guys.
Are there any more like timestamps you have of just them saying pretty shitty things?
I don't think I timestamped all the sexist shit. It was just pretty much rolls. It goes through this entire thing, and then the chat has the chat got really bad.
Go check out Dapper Dino's streams.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's just Dapper Dino and TD laid now. Erica left.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't very long.
No, didn't last very long. Anyway, what else you want to do?
We can just get going if you want to just call it a night.
Yeah, we could. I could. What do you think, guys?
That's fine with me. I'll just continue to watch the shit show that is Maddox's after show.
Well,
I do not have the stamina that like you and Speed have. It's crazy.
It's kind of getting to me. Listening to
I
all
just
this
find it
shit,
funny.
it just a lot
find
of
it
it
funny.
is, but I don't know.
And when you listen to your opposition, number one, you know you're not living in a confirmation bubble, and number two, you learn more better. You learn their positions better, so you can address them better and object to them better. But you also learn a little bit about like who they are and their psychology and things about them, just in how they talk, the things they talk about. Like, that's why we talk about the psychology of the Brotherhood, because of the things that they say.
Yep.
Who's Baptist Joshua?
I don't know. Who? He's a dude in the chat.
He's a dude in the chat. I dude in the chat.
Going
And
on.
He said earlier, I feel sorry for atheists because they're incorrect, yet spend their one life they get trying to disprove something that they claim is a myth. Kind of
Yeah,
like
but-
wasting your life to disprove Santa. And yeah, I mean, I
Sorry,
don't
Joshua,
really
I don't
disagree
know
with
if you
that.
are.
That's why. Huh?
I'm sorry, Joshua. I don't know who you're arguing against. I argue against creationists because the points they make are anti-scientific and they harm young generations of people. And quite unfortunately, I think it's a toxin from this world that needs to be removed. I don't really care if people believe in God or if they don't. Like, that's none of my
Yep.
business.
I don't think anybody in this call is really like anti-theist.
Yeah, if you're a yak, it has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with religion. You're simply denying modern science for some fucking personal reason that has nothing to do with reality. That's why people are yaks. Not because of Christianity, not because of the Bible, not because of your religion. You don't need that shit. So don't give me that fucking shit.
This has everything to do with people being like abusing philosophy and using it to try and promote something which can't be defensible, and nothing to do at all with the religion itself.
It has to do with creating a little tiny tight knit tribe.
I gotta be honest with all of you guys. I think that when it comes to creationism and intelligent design, it doesn't have anything to do with religion at all, and everything to do with the fact that it is not supported by any data whatsoever. It doesn't comport with any aspects of our reality that we have observed or defined thus far. We don't have mechanisms for how it could even occur. There's nothing suggesting that it's even likely. It meets all of the requirements for something that is not evidently true, or rather that is evidently not true. And that's the problem. I don't care what you believe or what your religion is. This stuff is patently false, and we can show that it is.
Yeah, and the other thing is we really don't care about your fucking God or your Bible. And we don't have to disprove it. And no, we don't sit around worrying about that. It's about the science.
He says, oh, okay. You saw what point of creationism is that? I
Oh
think
my God.
creationism
What is the
has...
point of creationism that you claim is false? The whole thing, literally.
Yeah,
The
I think
whole
I
thing.
think it's all true.
There is no part of it that is true. Is the problem.
When you got out of bed this morning, you were wrong before you even fucking opened your eyes.
I think, and that all stems from the faulty premise of creating your assumption first and then trying to cram in the data instead of just building your conclusion off of the data. And then from there, every assumption that they make is false, right?
Yep.
I wonder if he wants to come in and discuss this, because I'd like to ask, like, are you a creationist? And it's fine if
he said he is.
He is?
I
Okay,
already
I mean-
asked. He said he's a YC.
Okay, I mean, we can talk about like what you believe and stuff, but I mean, I'm really curious as towards like your defense of this.
Stream is public.
Smokey's gonna show up.
That's fine with me. Smokey's watching.
He's been hiding in the
other
chat this
after
whole
show.
time.
Yeah, no, I think Smokey's got his own stream going yet.
Okay.
I'm not
He's
sure.
also commenting in John's.
Is he? Well, he might be done with his stream.
So
where the hell?
about Ian about Nicholas. I
Smokey's.
think Nicholas. He seems like a nice dude. I don't agree with everything he says. Obviously, I think he
Yeah,
has some iffy
he's one of the
social
more
positions.
tolerable ones.
But like, yeah, he seems like a nice dude. Just fairly misguided. I would disagree with what you say about, he seems willing to learn. He doesn't seem willing to learn at all. I think that's my only real problem with him. He seems like he's already completely made his conclusion. He seems like he's already completely made his conclusion, and then if he doesn't know something, he defers to like Maddox.
So Joshua says, "I am." The science backs it. All right. So
no, hold on. He said something else. He says all cultures record a worldwide flood. Really? Which Native American cultures record a worldwide flood?
Yeah.
Which Nordic cultures record a worldwide flood? Which Australian cultures record a worldwide flood? None of them.
So the thing is, all cultures do seem to have a worldwide flood event, but they're not related to each other at all. Like some of them aren't very well related to each other in the slightest bit.
God, I hate being only with the camera on, being at the bottom of the screen.
You particularly said that the science backs it. Now that's a fun claim because that can be tested. So I'm really curious, to see if he'll come into the room and defend that claim, or
Probably
if he's
not.
just going to. No, I mean, Speed. Why not post the link out and see if you get talk?
I did.
He did. It's in the chat. See, this is the thing. Atheists are more than willing to go into Christian rooms and talk with them, but they're not willing to come in ours, or at least very rarely.
I'm not anymore.
I'm not super open to going into the room unless it's moderated.
Those would be more the Brotherhood rooms. I'm talking about rooms in
general.
general.
Yeah.
Or outside of that, outside of them.
Who would I go into if they were hosting like a room or something?
I would go in if Standing for Truth was hosting one because I know he's going to be fair.
If he was hosting a room and people like Maddox, George Bond, Faithful, Honest, and True, if those guys weren't there,
I'd go talk to Nicholas, I think, or I would talk to Neff once in a while if I could calm him down and get him to quit.
Oh yeah, he can't come on. He's got an old phone, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But no, there are cultures that do not have a worldwide flood. There are many Southern American cultures that do not have a worldwide flood. We can find numerous ancient ruins of civilizations like Machu Picchu and numerous others that are much older than when the flood supposedly happened. We have cultures that we know existed and were thriving during the period that the Bible states the flood supposedly happened. So were they all just oblivious to the fact that they were drowning, or is it that there was never a global flood? You also have to consider all the data from dendrochronology. If there was a global flood, trees that have been around since before that happened would have that reflected in their tree rings. And when we look at a lot of these stumps, we don't see that reflected. We don't see evidence of this mass deluge that supposedly happened. So why is the evidence for a global flood not present in the tree rings of trees, in the rings of trees, like it should be? There's a reason for that. And the main point is there is not enough water on or in the earth to completely cover its surface. So where did all the water come from? And we know that there's not, because if there was, the earth would be completely covered in water, and it's not, because there isn't enough to do so. So where did all that water come from, and where did it go? Unless you're prepared to take the position that NephilimFree does and state that, oh well, the water would just like magically appeared by God, and then it sunk into the earth, got heated up, and blasted out as massive geysers that put the craters in the moon. And yes, he literally believes that. We all call it his lunar bukkake theory. I should say lunar bukkake hypothesis, because it's
That's right. And he's actually in the Rational Wiki for that one.
Yep.
So the oldest known tree is Methuselah, with an age of about 4,852 years. That would predate the flood by 400 years. Like that's just true.
Hold on. Isn't there,
no, that's the second
tree
oldest.
was 10,550 years old.
Clonal tree. I was talking about singles tree. So there's clonal trees that have ages of like up to 1 million years potentially.
9,550 is what it is. But we can also look at what the fuck is that? Anyway, we can also look at the stumps of trees that are dead, and we still don't see. And we can go all over the world. Like you can go anywhere in the world. You're not going to see this,
dude. That's my cam.
Oh, wow.
That's my cam. Do you have to be so insulting?
We know, like it is a fact, there was never a global flood. There might have been regional floods in various places on the planet, probably almost exclusively the northern hemisphere, due to glacial melting over the last from from 15,000 BC to roughly 3,000 or 4,000 BC, something like that. I don't exactly know the dates. It's somewhere in there. So yeah, there were regions that flooded, like the Iraqi floodplain, which is why it's called that, where these Canaanite and Israelite cultures that Judaism and Christianity and subsequently Islam are based on came from. So of course we're going to find that there's flood stories, and given that these are very, very primitive cultures, it could flood for 100 miles in every direction around their little village, and they're going to think the whole world is flooded. So this is probably a reflection of something like that, but there most certainly was never a global flood.
Yeah.
Yep. And with the story behind the Christian Craken, which is on the screen, is that he was once an atheist, but I think he got into a car accident, and he was like miraculously saved. So now he embraced Jesus, and he has been forgiven. So that is the Christian Craken story.
That guy looks. Is this a real thing? It looks terrifying.
The Christian Craken?
Like, is this picture a real person?
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think. Oh, the Christian Craken here.
What am I watching? What?
You're watching the Christian Craken. I told you. I linked it in our messages today. Did anybody watch my techno music? It's the Christian Craken. I like them. And it was a really neat site here that has a whole bunch of this kind of music. So if you're into that.
Cool.
That's usually what I play before a live stream to wake me the fuck up.
It's your hype music?
Yeah, it's hype music. He's saying God.
So hold on, and I think you posted it, and I guess I just was kind of spaced it. Something that Baptist Joshua said: age is not determined by one ring per year. No, and we're not talking about the age of trees. So
yeah, and what
we're talking about is whether or not, if there was a flood, if a tree that doesn't typically grow literally in water is flooded, that will reflect in how the tree rings are structured. So we can look at the structure of the rings in the trunk of a tree and be able to tell whether it's been existed in a time where it's been flooded, and we can give a relative date for when that would have been. Aging wood is actually, dendrochronology, I think, is actually the most accurate way of aging wood. Maybe I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but I thought I heard that it at least can be more accurate than carbon-14 dating.
I do not know.
I have to look that up, so don't quote me on that. But
I mean, I would assume
can learn
that
the
it
age.
is, because you can narrow it down to the year, whereas carbon dating you get a range.
Exactly. So
but also
you can get trees
dendrochronology is not going to go back more than 10,000 years.
Yeah. You can get several tree rings forming in a given year, but and that's the thing, is that's reflecting changes in the environment that the tree is in, and we can see that and be able to tell what kind of changes it went through. So if we look at tree rings, if we do dendrochronology on numerous trees from all across the planet, and we find that most of them don't reflect ever having been in a flood region, that literally proves there was never a global flood, at least not since those particular trees that we've tested.
Okay.
So
hold on a minute.
You just said that the oldest trees are about 4,000 years, and now you're saying you can't accurately date them.
Yeah, and that's bullshit, because then they know exactly how to handle tree rings. They understand how tree rings relate to time.
Are you talking about me?
Also, I would say if Hoven's the person that you're getting your primary information, or is like your primary information source, I would find a different primary information source. I think even Standing is more educated, or I know for a fact Standing is far more educated than
Hoven is a convicted fraud. So that should tell you everything you need to know.
He is.
Well, and also like most creationists don't take Kent Hovind very seriously.
No, they don't, because
He's not very well informed. He's still using arguments from like the 80s, right?
That he made up.
Well, he
the
didn't
thing.
make any of them up. He took them all from other people.
Okay.
He took them from
but,
like Carl Bach, other people that have made the arguments thousands of times before he did.
Yeah, and like Milton and who's the other one? Gish.
Yeah, Zuma had 20 years in your mind. Standing for Truth is doing exactly the same thing Hovind did in the 1980s.
Hovind?
Hovind.
Yes, Hovind is a convicted fraud. Would you like me? You know what, Speed? Can we screen share? Can we
Yeah.
screen share this? Do you? I mean, I don't know if you want to do it from your screen or mine.
You can put it up.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
too
Let me
tired to do
just get this pulled up really quick here. And I just clicked the share screen button, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was convicted on like taking out withdrawing $9,999 from his bank
for avoiding tax.
Yeah.
For avoiding tax.
Yeah, structuring is. I'm not a legal person. I thought
Structuring
structuring was a type of tax fraud, but I know
So I have
he
an
was
issue here. I
also
know what the
accused of mail fraud and would have been convicted on that charge, but he got out of it due to
Hey.
jury nullification.
Speed.
I
I have a
don't-
problem. The share button is not highlighted.
What? Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
it's because you're sharing a screen. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably.
I think you can only share one screen at a time.
Now I gotta cancel. Go back in.
Where the hell are?
I still can't do it.
Hang on a second. Settings, green screen, guess. Okay, there's guess. Band, play sound. Guess must authenticate. So where the fuck do you set this up so I can let guests share screens?
What are you trying to share, Leo?
I'm trying to share the screen for the fact that Kent Hovind is a convicted fraud.
Yeah, where the hell?
Oh god.
How do I set that up? Share screen, Chrome tab, your entire screen, cancel.
Yeah, it's on your tired screen. I can't share application window. Hold on. Let me try this. Okay, now it should be going.
Oh, there you are.
Should be. Let me know when I'm up. Am I up?
You're up.
Okay.
You're
So it says right here, on October 21st, 2014, Hovind was indicted by a federal grand jury in Pensacola, Florida, on 2 counts of mail fraud, 1 count of conspiracy with Paul John Hansen to commit mail fraud, and 1 count of criminal contempt for interfering with the sale of Pensacola properties Hovind was forced to forfeit as a result of the 2006 case. So let's look at the sources here for this, which should highlight it. So that's Kevin Robinson, Dr. Dino facing new legal woes, Pensacola News Journal. News Journal. Scroll back up here if I can figure out where the fuck I was at. Where's the tax? Where the fuck is the tax fraud one? Let me see if this does anything for me.
Josh, are
Here
you
we
saying
go.
that you have read the court documents? I'm not saying I have. I really don't care like whether or not he's a fraud. He's very wrong on anything he's ever said otherwise. So I just don't care that much.
Covered your screen. Covered your screen.
Yep, right there.
Okay.
Conviction for tax-related crimes. Yeah, he's a tax fraud. Oh shit. Let me just do that so it doesn't double up. Oh, I gotta click the stop button, don't I? Yeah, that'd be smart.
Why are my pods not showing up?
Yeah. He is literally a convicted fraud. He is literally a convicted fraud.
Literally?
Yeah.
And he's wrong on everything.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. I think whether or not, like, we can argue semantics here of his charges and all that kind of stuff. I really don't care. He's wrong on anything he's ever said, even if he wasn't. Then, or I mean, like, even if he wasn't like arrested or anything, he'd still be wrong on anything he said.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying that like ex-cons can be right. You know what I mean? Like if you're an ex-con, you can still be right. He's just not.
Mm-hmm. And he's dude, his debate with Aaron Raw on the Non Sequitur show. I watched that again today just because I was bored. And oh my god, I just can't believe that you think
like I
pine
said,
trees and elephants are related.
Kent Hovind's just not taken seriously by most creationists.
It's not taken seriously by really anybody other than a very, very small amount of. He is not a convicted fraud. You do not understand what's wrong. Yes, he is a convicted fraud. He committed tax fraud. There's court documents. Aaron Raw actually has the court documents and has, I'm pretty sure, literally cited them in a video about Kent Hovind. He's literally a convicted
lawyer. So, Aaron Raw had a lawyer actually go on stream with him and discuss, like, and review, like, the court documents to show how what exactly the charges mean and why he was convicted for.
Did y'all see that he's suing the government for like $500 million or something?
Really?
Yeah.
What's he trying to sue over?
I don't.
He's trying to sue because like wrongful indictment, and then that he lost $500 million worth of money or something like that, so the government needs to compensate, which is ridiculous. Dinosaur Adventureland's not pulling in like $500 million.
Millions, but he didn't pull in that much.
Huh? No, he's
pulling that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's making some money, but it's like, well, also admission to Dinosaur Adventureland is free. He's mostly making money off of his internet presence and like his books and seminars.
I'm trying something, guys.
Dangerous.
Huh?
Baptist Joshua is literally sitting here trying to talk about how structuring, which is a form of fraud, is not fraud.
Like I said,
Joshua, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go?
I do not know enough about legally stuff.
Why don't you go structure some payments, Joshua? Tell some local officials about it, and then let's see if you get put behind bars. Okay? Why don't you go
He's
show?
definitely a convict.
Yeah, I know he's been married
Or
more than once. I'm pretty sure.
Yep, he's on his third wife.
Yeah, his first wife couldn't handle the ass hattery that is Kent Hovind. Do you really think that a dog is related to a mosquito?
Well,
can you believe a whale is related to a pine tree? So what happened was the water.
No. Sorry, that's correct. The water.
The water.
The water.
He has a very distinct way of saying water. It's kind of
the
funny.
way he talks in general.
The A is the U.
I love it. Are you telling me you think pine trees and elephants are related? Are they both eukaryotes? Why does that matter? Are they both eukaryotes? Oh my god, Kent Hovind is just so stupid and funny because of it.
I got my earpods working.
Yeah, but okay. Once again, didn't he do that for like months on end, where he was like deducting like $1 less than the cap for it or something?
Yeah. So
he was doing it like once every 3 months for like 2 or 3 years straight.
Yep.
Water. Yeah. That he has the correct pronunciation in the chat. Water.
Yep. Perfect. These earpods are fantastic. Holy fuck.
Earpods?
Yeah. They're
what a boomer.
They're Bluetooth wireless Apple earpods.
Oh, so they are AirPods.
Dude, okay, guy. I understand you're
earbuds or whatever.
69 years old, but AirPods is what they're called.
I don't know what the fuck
not
they are.
AirPods. AirPods. Number 2.
Okay.
You don't need to say Bluetooth and wireless. If it's Bluetooth,
okay, Milliweenie.
By definition, wireless. Just trying to help you out.
Whatever.
Do my Maddox laugh.
Oh yeah, I got that midnight.
We have that specifically cut out.
Huh?
Did we have that laugh cut out yet?
Yeah.
Midnight sent it to us.
Midnight sent it to us, and the coolest thing about it is this friend of mine, he comes over and he does some handyman work for us occasionally. I played it for him, and he follows the channel and he's aware of Maddox.
Mm-hmm.
And he heard that and then he started imitating it and he fucking got it spot on. And then he went upstairs and he was working on some stuff in the upper room. And I heard him doing it up there. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like Gary. His name is Gary, but he just caught it perfect. He couldn't fucking let it go. I bet he's still home doing it right now because he couldn't believe it.
Tell Gary I appreciate that.
What's that?
I said, tell Gary I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was good.
He's probably driving himself insane.
Yeah, he's probably going to start to get to him. Anyway.
I can't do it right now. I need to hear it first.
We could hear it. We could find it. What have I done with it? It was in the chat.
What?
Well, it was in the chat. Oh, Maddox. Maddox left. What the hell is it? I got to trim it a little better. He actually left part of the end of it on. So, let's see. Application window. Oh, Christ. I don't think this works. I don't know if the audio is going to work. Because
let's try.
StreamYard is retarded. Did you hear it?
No.
Huh?
No.
No?
No.
Fuck.
You gotta, or if you're sharing like a screen, you gotta do the share audio too.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have the option on an application.
It's rough.
Okay.
Oh well, it's okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Anyway,
we could just post
call
the
it,
video.
guys.
Fine. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Call it a night.
I'm fine.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Baptist Josh, if you ever want to like pop in a stream,
yeah,
that'd
we
be fun.
I promise I won't be an ass. I might press you to answer questions, but I won't be an ass. People think that's being an ass, but it's not. It's really not. I just don't like people who but what about and dodge questions and red herring and cherry pick and straw man. Gets annoying after a while.
Also, by the way, please don't gush gallop if you walk into the room. Please stay on one topic at a time. Don't be an Otanto, because we've dealt with people like that before, and it's not very fun. I mean, it's establishing the fundamentals of conversation is good before we just like jump into the deep end on topics that we may not even have a pre-agreed upon definition for the topic we're discussing.
Mm-hmm. Well stated. I don't like people who jump around like Nephilim and Otangelo.
Nephilim just has, If you've ever seen like Nephilim like run dry on a script, he'll just repeat it over and over.
Yeah, I have experienced that numerous times, actually. Yeah, unfortunately. Nephilim is a fucking character.
He is, very much so.
Yeah. All right. Well, y'all feeling like calling it?
Yep. I'm gonna end the broadcast.
Well,
See you. Anybody left in that? Ian, good night.
Yeah. Night, Ian. Night, Josh.
Hi, everybody in the chat.
All right. See y'all later.
Okay.
Peace out.
And